Jamaica's agriculture is on the move and the world is watching. This September, discover how sustainable agribusiness, global reach, local impact is transforming our future. At JAIF 2025, the Jamaica Agribusiness Investment Forum, explore financing opportunities, forge powerful partnerships, and connect with global markets ready for Jamaican products. Join us in Montego Bay, September 17 to 19, and plant the seed that will take your agribusiness to the next level. Register today at agribizjamaica.com. Let's grow Jamaica's agricultural future together.
BGLC, the regulatory body. We regulate, you play without worry. We regulate, you play. BGLC, fair play when you play. For the fun of the game, you know where they are. BGLC, keep it fair for the player. You play the game and we are the rules that keep everything fair so the game play better. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. We ensure fairness, integrity and responsible gaming practices. Keep the game fair and fun for everyone. We regulate, you play.
Zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table by the side or the back. If you check out the servings, just do the maths. Not taking too much, finger below the facts. Zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table by the side or the back. Take note of the sodium, the sugars and the fats. 5% or less in the on the right track. You for zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table by the side or the back. Vitamins, minerals and vitamin 2, 20% and more that good for you. You for zoom nutrition facts. You feel check the nutrition facts. You feel check the nutrition facts. Less sugar, less salt intake, and less fat. You feel
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Jamaica Moves, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, the National Health Fund, and JAP.
Breathe in the breath of life. Saturdays and Sundays at 7:30 a.m., Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:30 a.m. on PBCJ, the People's Station.
We want a piece for Jamaica. Yo, what are you? Oh, man, none of that. No, brother, no, man, mash up that, man.
You see you ever play rest? Dirty game,
Yeah,
no
but
play.
I look a bad game. No, I said, place you come from, brother, I want to live good, man. I want to live good, Bridging. So shake on, I can play a little bad, Bridging.
Really have to shake hand?
Yeah, man, and no badness, Bridging. Just live good, man.
Come together and make the violence done.
Send the something and come back. Back to sender. God, I thank you so much.
Miracles await and miracles abound. Tune in every Sunday at 7 a.m. for your share of the Miracle Revival Hour with Reverend Dr. Blair. Come for the word, stay for the worship. Right here on PBCJ.
Miracle worker, work one for me.
Diabetes is high glucose level in the bloodstream.
Greet the Sabbath day with bliss and an open heart. Join the People's Station for the Andrews Memorial Seventh-day Adventist Church service every Saturday at 9 a.m. on PBCJ.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy catch, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium. Tilapia, simple, healthy, delicious.
BGLC, the regulatory body. We regulate, you play without worry. We regulate, you play. BGLC, fair play when you play. For the fun of the game, you know we're there. BGLC, keep it fair for the player. You play the game and we are the rules setter. Keep everything fair so the game play better. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. We ensure fairness, integrity and responsible gaming practices. Keep the game fair and fun for everyone. We regulate, you play.
The National Family Planning Board now presents a parenting tip from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Men are what their mothers made them.
PBCJ's Studio National is an excellent soundstage with a reputation for producing superior acoustics. Equipped with blue and green screens, it facilitates digital insertion of visual effects and exciting backgrounds in post-production. Studio National is the largest drive-in studio in the English-speaking Caribbean. Yes, you can actually drive a vehicle right onto the studio floor. With over 4,000 square feet of floor space, the studio can easily be transformed. It has hosted a wide variety of live and recorded productions, including Digital Rising Stars, Schools Challenge Quiz, gospel concerts, the TEF Tourism Debate Competition, and election night coverage. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it was a location for Reggae Sumfest and has hosted several reggae concerts, has hosted workshops, launches, town hall meetings, and over the years has been home to several TV dramas, including Oliver at Large and Lime Tree Lane. In addition to the rental of the studio, we can furnish a full crew to shoot and edit your production. So for your next major live or recorded event, or as a location to shoot films, programs, and commercials, PBCJ's Studio National is your best option. For smaller productions, you can book our more compact studio, Studio B. For bookings, call 876-665-7225 or email prod_pbcj@pbcjamaica.org.
BGLC, the regulatory body. We regulate, you play without worry. We regulate, you play. BGLC, fair play when you play. For the fun of the game, you know we're there. BGLC, keep it fair for the player. You play the game and we are the rules setter. Keep everything fair so the game play better. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. We ensure fairness, integrity and responsible gaming practices. Keep the game fair and fun for everyone. We regulate, you play.
Come with us to Lime Tree Lane, where life is sometimes sour, but sometimes sweet.
Oh, I was in the bar yesterday, trying to convert over two man, and my hand make mistake and bungs down them drinks. And the other one said to me, "Why if you're right enough and you cut it off, boss?" And same time, the two of them just hold me down and cut the hand.
Have a laugh and settle into Lime Tree Lane. Join us Mondays to Fridays at 7 a.m.
And when they done their feet for you. You understand me? No wonder the boy was having a high. No, come back here. Where do you think you're going?
Let me go check in bed. Only on PBCJ, the People's Station.
Get ready to be inspired. Join us on PBCJ's Giving Hearts, the show that celebrates kindness, compassion, and generosity.
So we try to give books, shoes, lunch snacks, and uniform allowance.
We'll share powerful stories of individuals and organizations making a difference across the island each week.
My mother and I felt the need to keep helping children with special needs and other children.
From ordinary people doing extraordinary things to organizations driving positive change.
And we haul up garbage, whether with our nets, hooks, picks.
Giving Hearts will warm your heart and inspire you to take action. Don't miss Giving Hearts, airing Sundays at 8 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on PBCJ, the People's Station.
If you want to volunteer, definitely do it. You get actually a rewarding feeling after.
Join the movement. Spread love. Give from the...
As to what the final result is
For
likely
example,
to be.
St. Mary Weston on the board there, Bobby Montague, yes? No, it just went.
Yeah, it's going to come back. So we asked for Western St. Mary. Could you give us Western St. Mary and to look at the numbers as they've come in? Western St. Mary.
Or can you go to the smart board then, Jenny, and bring up Western St. Mary for us to see what we have here there? Western St. Mary. Okay, Montague.
This is not the latest information from Western St. Mary.
That's
so that's
not...
probably the same challenge that they're having, where that information isn't coming through.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Take us to where the parties stand now. Yeah. Who is leading in how many seats? Who has won how many seats?
All right. So right now there are 34 seats in favor of the governing Jamaica Labour Party. They are either declared or ahead, and say chances are they will win. Right. Mm-hmm. The model is predicting that if they hold the lead that they have now, they will win. There's less than 10% of the boxes left to be counted in some of those seats. And that is 34 for them to 29 for the opposition. So right now, the JLP still has a lead. Similarly, with the popular vote, they still have a small lead of just about 1.5% over the opposition.
Okay. So the JLP is leading in 34 and the PNP in 29.
Right. So in another minute or two, we'll have another fresh update. We just got word that the 8:20 update came in. And so that's going to be up on the board, and we can take a closer look at some of those other seats that you've been watching so closely.
All right. Okay. Can we see West Rural St. Andrew? Because I'm getting an update about Juliet Cuthbert Flynn in West Rural St. Andrew and Joan Gordon Webley.
After that, George, I want you to go over to Kingston Central. The ruling Jamaica Labour Party is leading in Kingston Central as we speak. And we're deep in the count. 75 of 80 boxes in Kingston Central. Mm-hmm. And the Jamaica Labour Party is leading a very slim margin, but that is concerning for the People's National Party.
What is the margin of lead, Sandre?
Just about roughly 200 votes.
Well, Wayne is Wayne online? Wayne, are you hearing us? All right, not yet, because he's inside the counting center. Can we get the graphic for Kingston Central and for West Rural St. Andrew, just to see where those races are in terms of the number of boxes left to be counted, giving us a running tally of where the race is headed? West Rural St. Andrew and Kingston Central. All right, Kingston Central, 75 of 80. So yes, 4,575 for Donovan Williams.
Yeah.
4,377, yeah?
That's 198
between them, yeah?
198.
So it's tightening.
It's still too close.
Tightening.
Yes, it could still go either way.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's concerning, Cliff, because of the projections of the People's National Party, particularly when it comes on to the Kingston and St. Andrew seats and taking back those 18 seats that are necessary for them to go into Jamaica House, not looking at those on the west that we expect them to win, but these seats that they need to take back: St. Andrew Eastern, Kingston Central, St. Andrew East Rural. These seats they need to win.
All right, can we call two more seats? Two for the PNP. Can we call Southeast Clarendon, Lothian Cousins there. Southwest, beg your pardon, against Robert Chin, the man who was in southern Manchester. Southwest Clarendon, can we get that up? That race is all but over bar the shouting. And then East Kingston and Port Royal, we can add that to the PNP's tally as well. So can we get on the screen Southwest Clarendon? So here we have Cousins, 96 of 100. Only 4 boxes left and Chin is lost in the distance.
We can declare that for the PNP.
Yes, and that's what we're doing right now.
Studio, upstairs? Yes, we should go orange. Yeah?
Orange.
That is going to the People's National Party as expected. Southwest Clarendon. Cousins will retain it for the PNP. Yes? This is one of the seats that, you know, no. Studio, there we go. It's going orange. Yes? The shot of the studio, Mr. Director. Yes? It's going orange for Clarendon Southwest. The attorney, Lothian Cousins, will be going back to the Parliament. Tick that one for the PNP.
Wayne is online.
Good.
Finally. Wayne, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, George. You hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. What's Eastern St. Andrew saying?
Well, let me tell you. Just have a look at it, because it's a huge board. Oh, so it's 100% counted. Yeah. And the incumbent retain the seat.
What are the numbers?
6,824, 6,824 to 6,386.
That's 438. So Favour Williams has won by 438 votes, the preliminary count.
Yes. So it's back into...
Right. And there are three...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There are three other seats that they have 100%
No.
counted.
Just a moment, Wayne.
Don't go there yet.
Right.
Let me just put in context the result in St. Andrew East. Recall that in 2016, when she entered the House first, Favour Williams won that by just under 500 votes. And then that margin exploded in the COVID election to over 2,000. Yes? It's now back into the pre-COVID dynamics. But she was under pressure inside St. Andrew Eastern. Patricia Duncan Sutherland put up a very good fight. But Favour Williams, this woman on your screen, the finance minister, has again been underestimated.
Yes.
Underestimated, and she has prevailed. Despite her quiet, retiring demeanor, she is a fighter.
Yeah, Desmond, this was not according to what the PNP had in store for the seat. They were banking on Eastern St. Andrew to build that coalition that they needed to get to Jamaica House.
Currently it is there are 15 seats in the corporate area.
Yeah.
And currently it is 9-6, right? So what is expected is for that 9 to go for the PNP and 6 to the GLP. So in Eastern St. Andrew, East Rural, West Rural, and Central Kingston are among those that are supposed to be in the PNP winners enclosure. So if Eastern retain, and we watch to see what is going to happen in West Rural, East Rural, and Central Kingston.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Wayne.
Yeah. Wayne, what else are you seeing on the board?
Yeah, so Kingston Central, one of the seats that a lot of people are looking at, 94% of the votes are already counted. And the incumbent is holding a slim lead. Donovan has 4,575 to Steve McGregor's 4,377, 94% of the votes already counted. But let me just give you the other 100% of the boxes counted. Of course, Manchester Southern, Peter Bunting is going back to the Parliament, yeah? Is one that won quite easily in the end. 8,573 to 7,903 for Ian Ives. So Manchester Southern has gone to Peter Bunting, and the St. Elizabeth Northwestern, that has gone to the Jamaica Labour Party. It's Andrew Young, I think. Again, in Forrester, it's 5,555 to 3,831. That goes to the Jamaica Labour Party. And the other seat that has 100% is the St. Andrews South Eastern, 100% counted, and PNP has taken that seat. It's 7,000, right, so it's 5,418 to 3,137. So Julian Robinson retains the seat.
We have an update here from Blue Dot where St. Thomas Eastern St. Thomas is concerned. Janae, what is the board telling you?
All right, so the challenger is ahead, well ahead here. Well, a comfortable lead based on 77 boxes counted at this time in St. Thomas Eastern. So Shaw for the PNP at 4,356 or 52.46% of the vote to Dr. Michelle Charles at 3,912 or with 47% of the vote, and that's based on 77 boxes having been counted.
77 of how many?
Jahil, can you confirm the total for me?
77 of how many boxes in St. Thomas Eastern? Okay, we're going to get that in short order.
St. Thomas is supposed to be 1-1. You know?
Yeah.
Leading Daniel Lawrence.
Yeah, well, let's put up Eastern Westmoreland. Let's put up Eastern Westmoreland. Dr. Dayton Campbell against Daniel Lawrence. Let's put that one up. Eastern Westmoreland, and then we can declare Central St. Catherine for the JLP. No surprises there.
Yes.
Let's put up
Eastern Westmoreland.
Yes,
Eastern Westmoreland, 91% of the votes counted. It's 6,772. So Dayton, and it's 5,056. So it has a good lead.
Yes, 1,700 clear with about what? That's what? 21 boxes to go. Yeah, 1,700 clear with 21 boxes to go. He's on course. He's on course, Dayton Campbell,
to return to the parliament.
In the parliament, yeah.
And Westmoreland is supposed to be three for the PNP.
Yes. So Western Westmoreland.
11 boxes, beg your pardon. 11 in, sorry, Cliff, 11 in Eastern Westmoreland to go, 11. So we can call this one for Dayton Campbell, I think, with 11 boxes to go and a 1,700 lead.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Daniel Lawrence to find sufficient votes in those 11 boxes to get.
Yes.
So we're going to call Eastern Westmoreland for the PNP and Dayton Campbell.
The PNP General Secretary is returning to the Parliament. Yes, he has won Eastern Westmoreland, defeating the incumbent Jamaica Labour Party, Daniel Lawrence. This was one with a lot of talk and speculation that he was under pressure inside there, and he won a late endorsement from the former MP, the former Prime Minister and PNP President, PJ Patterson, earlier this week or late last week. He has prevailed in Eastern Westmoreland, and he must be breathing a big sigh of relief.
Before we declare St.
I also
Catherine,
think so.
Go ahead, Wayne. Go ahead.
Clarendon Southwestern, you could call that one because 96% of the votes have already been counted.
We have called that.
Can we look at, before we go to Central St. Catherine and call that one, can we look at the race between Wavell Hines and Dwight Sibley's in Northern Clarendon? There is nothing much between the two men, and the seat count is very old. What are your numbers on the board showing you?
77% of the votes have already been counted, and just look at it again here.
Yes.
Large board and a lot of numbers. So Wavell is leading
by 108 votes.
At the moment.
Can't call it.
Just over that. We have 4,125.
Yes.
417 to say.
Yes.
So
that's too close to call.
At the moment, 77% of the votes are counted.
That's too close to call.
108 votes separate them with 23 boxes left. Yeah, we can leave that alone for now.
What about Hazan?
Hazan in Northwest Center, Clarendon.
Yep. Let's see what the
Northwest Clarendon, 97% of the vote. It's still a little close-ish, but Azan having a good lead. I mean, 97% of the votes have already been counted. It's 6,785 to 6,271.
Yes. And the Clarendon North Central, Robert Morgan is
and
opening
North Central, 81% of the votes have already been counted.
Yes.
And right, Robert has a good lead, 4,466 to 3,399, with 81% of the votes counted.
Yes. And Clarendon Central, Mike Henry Seat, the former mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams.
That is the JLP.
80% of the votes. 80% of the votes counted.
We can call this.
Delroy leading with 5,723 to 2,496 for the PNP. And with 80% of the votes counted, I think we could call that one.
Yeah, we should. We should call Central Clarendon and the Central St. Catherine for the JLP. Yes, so we're calling Clarendon Central.
Yes, and Central St. Catherine, easily. 81% of the votes counted with the JLP candidate leading with 7,425 to 508.
Yeah. So let's call Central St. Catherine as well.
I think we could call St. Catherine North Central as well. 84% of the votes counted. The PNP has a sizable lead, 6,221 to 3,273. I think we could call that one 84% of the votes are very counted.
So Natalie Nita Heldley is, well, Natalie Nita
Yes,
Garvey,
well ahead.
Garvey is set to return to the Parliament for another stint. So after that, so we call Central St. Catherine, and then we're going to call North Central St. Catherine.
North Central St. Catherine, it's 84% of the votes already counted. The PNP, well, it's the same one with Natalie Nita Garvey, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Meanwhile, can we put up Southern St. James?
No, just before you leave St. Catherine,
yes,
I have a result here. St. Catherine East Central, Terrelong versus Price. Terrelong is going back to the Parliament with 96% of the votes counted. He has a lead of more than 1,000 votes over Terrelong, 6,235. The price is 5,092. So Terrelong has won East Central St. Catherine.
Can we? Okay, good.
And Tufton has won St. Catherine West Central. Tufton, with 84% of the votes counted, he has a lead of more than 2,500. Tufton, 5,537 to his opponent's 3,022. So Tufton is going back to the Parliament.
George, find out what is happening to Dr. Dawes.
Yes, I shall.
Dr. Dawes, here's the latest we have
St. Catherine,
on Dr. Dawes. 30% of the votes counted so far.
Early.
Yes. The JLP is Robert Miller is leading with 2,205 votes to Dr. Dawes 2,180. Close going.
Can we add North Central St. Catherine to the PNP's tally, where Natalie Nita Garvey is on course to return to Jamaica House? So that PNP tally should be 5 on the screen and not 4. North Central St. Catherine, we're calling it for the PNP given the differential between Nita Garvey and her JLP challenger.
We have another.
Folks, listen to this one. Listen to this one from Kingston Central. 94% of the votes already counted. So Donovan has 4,575. Steve, 4,377.
Oh, yes, we did mention that.
Yeah, that's 198 difference. Yeah.
Manchester North East, Audley Shaw's old seat.
Yes.
Manchester North East, that the PNP was banking on to carry them home. Well, it seems like the ambassador has pulled off a diplomatic triumph. Yeah? Audrey Marks, with 96 of 111 boxes counted, Audrey Marks, Ambassador Marks, is comfortably ahead with 6,472 to Valentin Wint, 5,144.
That's 1,328 difference with 617 boxes to go.
Yes.
1,328 in front with 17 boxes to count.
Never expect PNP to take Northeast. That is Audley Shaw.
No, Valentin Wint, no Desmond. Valentin Wint had made considerable inroads there.
Yes. Correct.
And when the Labour Party was in turmoil, it was felt that Valentin Wint had his best chance to take it then.
Because the JLP had that put in a candidate. As soon as that candidate was selected,
she made a quick recovery.
Because you have to remember that Audley Shaw has been in that seat. He's the longest serving member of parliament in central Jamaica.
Can we push up Eastern Portland? Just saw a flash of Eastern Portland showing Isaac Buchanan in front with what, 96 of 140 boxes counted. Can we look at Eastern Portland?
That is supposed to be a 1-1 in Portland, you know.
69% of the votes counted. And Isaac is leading. He's got 5,636 to Anne-Marie's 5,224, with 69% of the votes counted.
So 412 votes separate them with
44 boxes.
44 boxes to go. 412 votes separating them with 44 boxes to count.
44 boxes to go in East Portland?
Yes, sir.
And how many separating
412.
Well, 2, Too early.
Kingston Western, I mean,
That's
we could have
decided.
called this from last night, along with East Kingston and Port Royal.
Before the election start.
Mackenzie with 86%. I think Joe Witter's challenge, we can, as we declare this for Mackenzie, Joe Witter's challenge at Dr. Spence was to crack 1,000 votes, and he came up short, 823 to his name.
All right, let's go to St. Anne. We have heard from St. Anne Southeast, Northeast, but let's look at St. Anne Northwest. Krista Lee in a battle with Gabriella Morris. 63% of the votes counted. Krista Lee, 4,426 to Gabriella's 3,321. Yes? And in St. Anne Southwest, no. That was St. Anne Southwest. It keeps on changing quickly on me here. St.
Anne Northwest.
St. Anne Northwest.
Yes.
That's where Lee is ahead.
Right.
Yes. And in St. Anne Southwest, Xavier Main is ahead of Danishka Williams, 4,426 to 3,321. And St. Anne Northwest, Lee is ahead, 5,408 to Morris's 5,011.
All right, can we put up West Rural St. Andrew, because there are only 20 boxes left to count in West Rural St. Andrew. Only 20 boxes to go in West Rural St. Andrew. Let us see how the race is taking shape. Still too early to call it with 20 boxes to go. Let's see what the numbers are showing in West Rural St. Andrew, where the Jays, Juliet and Joan. So look at this. Juliet Cuthbert Flynn has a lead of 5 fewer than 900. So she's leading by 895 votes with 20 boxes to go. Cuthbert Flynn has a lead of 895 votes with 20 boxes to count.
That one is leaning definitely to Cuthbert Flynn.
Yeah.
Yes? And for Joan Gordon Webley, here again, it is a trend has now emerged at 13 minutes to 9. Yes? The PNP is not winning the elections. It is not.
That was declared.
Yeah? Because those seats, East Rural, West Rural St. Andrew, Eastern St. Andrew, they should be winning those.
But let me ask you this, the great teacher. You always say that, and I have to put it like that, I have to give him his props. You always say that along with that kind of thinking, you should align where boxes are coming from. And
yes.
we here don't know where those boxes are coming from, but you are saying that with the race so old, if you're going to win, you should be right on the coattail of the leaders, if not leading yourself.
You should be leading.
Yes.
In these constituencies that have been traditionally voting PNP.
Yes.
Whenever the PNP is winning elections in Jamaica,
yes,
they win East Rural, they win West Rural, they win Eastern St. Andrew. Yes.
Right.
They win Central Kingston. That's not happening now.
Yeah. When any change to Kingston Central, any change to Kingston Central, we're keen to know if those 5 boxes have been counted in the time we've been speaking.
No, they've not yet been counted. It's still 94% of the votes counted, and the JLP 4,575 to the PNP's 4,377.
Go to the leaders' constituency.
West Rural is not over for the PNP.
Let's look at West Central St. Andrew. Could we put up West Central St. Andrew on the big screen to see what the party leader is doing for the JLP? We saw the one for St. Andrew South. Mark Golding had 93.6% of the votes cast in the seat. He'll win by a city block. But let's look at West Central St. Andrew. What has West Central St. Andrew showing you, Wayne?
Well, it showed me that 71% of the boxes count. And the JLP was 4,227 for the PNP, to 3,935.
Mm-hmm. So Paul Buchanan is trailing Andrew Holness in this seat by 227 and 65, 7 and 2, 9, 292 votes with 71% of the boxes counted.
That's a good showing.
Oh, that's a strong showing.
The Prime Minister should be in that position.
No.
No.
After so many votes counted?
But one of the things we must remember about that seat, you know. You see, we don't remember about that. You remember how that seat went Cliff?
In?
When all this won it.
97, the Constitutional Authority, and the election had to be run over, and he didn't go to Parliament until, well, in April 1998, yes.
The PNP votes in that constituency have been asleep for decades.
Yes. St. Mary West. Yes, St. Mary West, Bobby Montague seat. Tell us.
48% of the votes counted. The thing has changed on me. Let me just quickly get it back together. St. Mary Western, yes, 67% of the votes counted.
Yes.
Bobby, 6,341, and it's still 5,683. 67% of the votes counted.
Well, the chairman seems as if he has recovered.
Yep.
What about St. Mary Central? Safe PNP territory, St. Mary Central. The PNP's Omar Newell comfortably ahead, 3,940 to Jamar Nathaniel Mirage for the JLP, 2,724. Still a little way to go, but Newell clearly ahead.
Yeah.
That's St. Mary Central?
Yes.
This is Dr. Guy's old seat.
Dr. Guy's old seat.
Well, let me give you an update on it. Let me give you an update on it. It's 81% of the votes counted now.
Yes.
It's 4,345 to the JLP, to 5,904 to the PNP.
Good.
Can we stick with St. Mary?
Yes. What's the number there for St. Mary Southeast?
Dr. Dunn and Chris Brown.
Yes.
Wayne? Wayne, are you hearing us?
Yes, 56% of the votes counted. They're doing a live interview next door to me, so it's kind of difficult to get into that interview. So it's 56% of the votes counted in the seat that you're asking me. And let me give you the numbers. Hold on. Just a second there. 56, so it's 3,678 for the JLP to 3,577 for the PNP.
That's razor thin.
So Dunn continues to hold a narrow lead.
101.
Yeah.
Right. It's not done yet.
St. Andrews South?
Yeah, we can declare that for Angela Roundabout for a long time now. Well, Mark Golding rather. 7,810. The JLP, the Labour right in that seat cracked 1,000 votes, so
you can also declare Brownburg seat.
Yes, for sure.
We did.
We did it earlier.
We did declare Brownburg. Yes.
Warmington seat is it?
Can we put up St. Catherine Southwest, please? St. Catherine Southwest.
St. Catherine Southwest, 79% of the votes counted.
Yes.
And the JLP is 8,339. So the PNP is 6,530.
So Wall is losing ground.
St. James South.
Yes.
St. James South. Homer Davis versus Nikisha Burchell. Can you tell us that, Wayne?
The PNP said they would win.
Let me check it. Hold on.
St. James South West.
Oh, wow. Look at Rhoda.
Not seeing this on the board here.
Oh, she's leading.
No, not reflecting on the board.
But that's early days yet. It's
not reflecting on the board.
There we have it. 79 of 110 boxes counted in St. James South. Burchell leading for the PNP with 4,471. Homer Davis, 4,307. That's a lead of 160 odd for Burchell.
While we wait on the tab to refresh, Ricardo Brooks is at Belmont Road. Ricardo, are you hearing me?
Sure.
Ricardo?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, Ricardo. What's happening at Belmont Road? Tell us.
Well, I can tell you that the confidence is vital here at Belmont Road. The Rebels are watching the Rebo TV coverage. And as big policies coming in, they are getting increasingly jubilant, increasingly loud. Their confidence was a bit damp earlier in the night, but as the night has worn on, the confidence is rising. The Labour believe they are on track to win the third term.
Well, we need to fix up that audio from Ricardo.
I can tell you what he said. Well, you heard him.
Ricardo, just let me tell him, Ricardo, we need to improve your audio from Belmont Road. Okay? So we're going to fix that and come back to you. Yes.
But what he said was that the night started damp for the labor rights, but they're warming up and they're becoming more jubilant as time passes at Belmont Road, sensing that they have the elections within their grasp. We can declare, we called East Kingston and Port Royal a long time ago. That PNP total needs to rise by a few seats because we added a couple to it. Add this one as well, St. Andrews Southwest.
We declared that.
Long time.
We declared that long ago.
What is happening in central Manchester?
Central Manchester.
Wayne, what's the board showing in central Manchester?
88% of the votes counted, and Donovan is holding a razor thin lead over Rhoda Moy. Donovan 7,853 to Rhoda 7,719.
So
with 88% of the votes counted. It's very, very close, desperately close.
So that's too close to call.
Too close to call.
Very much so.
Yes. Manchester Northeast, we did mention Audrey Marks is leading there.
What about Philip's seat?
And St.
Damien
Well,
Young.
80% of the votes counted in that poll. One. And the PNP has a decent advantage, 5,625 to 4,521. Still probably too close to call, but good enough lead with 80% of the votes already counted.
1,004 difference. Phillips looks to be on course to return to Jamaica, to Gordon House, beg your pardon.
Yes.
Gordon House.
Can you punch up what's Western Westmoreland showing you, Wayne? Western Westmoreland. Western Westmoreland.
Westmoreland, Western. 46% of the votes counted, not even 50% as yet. But at the moment, the PNP has a good lead, 3,798 to the PNP's, the JLP. That's, Western Westmoreland. Good. So the JLP, 2,811, the PNP, 3,798, which as I said before, yeah, still early days, 46% of the votes counted.
But so far, the PNP they have one Dayton Campbell's seat in Eastern Westmoreland.
Bunting in South Manchester.
And the other Westmoreland seat in Westmoreland. Central. George Wright.
Yep.
They are ahead in that as well.
Yes. Right.
And they are ahead in Western Westmoreland.
Yes.
So it's a good night for them in Westmoreland.
It looks as if they've taken the West back.
Yes, certainly Westmoreland.
Before we say that, though, can we look at the two Hanover seats before we give the final?
The last time I saw those two Hanover seats, the PNP were leading in both.
Can we look at?
And they are in both as well. Let me just give you them. Hanover Western, 83% of the votes counted in that one. The PNP with 5,499 to the JLP's 4,728. And in Eastern, Hanover Eastern, 59% of the votes counted. The PNP 3,334 to the JLP's 2,789. The board has the JLP leading in 33 seats, the PNP in 30.
33-30. That is where we are.
That's where we might finish the night.
Yes.
That's where we might very well finish the night.
33-30.
All right, the studio's asking for a break, and we come right back with more results for you. I mean, you watch the election results show to hear numbers, eh? And we'll throw in some talk as the numbers come in. But for now, break time. Back with more after these.
Spring into style with unique living.
Denise Williams here, inviting you to join us on Financially Focused, the ultimate destination for go-getters who are ready to take the step-by-step actions to master your finances and create a family legacy. Tune in, watch, take notes, and participate to discover the strategies of our expert guests who provide invaluable guidance and powerful coaching tools to supercharge your financial journey.
Tune in to Financially Focused, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. only on PBCJ, the People's Station.
hurricane season runs from June 1 through November 30. It normally peaks between August and October. Be prepared. It's important to store books, puzzles, or other activities children can enjoy if there is no electricity. Monitor your radio or television for weather updates and instructions. Be prepared. Jamaica has more than 28 species of birds, land snails, reptiles, amphibians, and hundreds of flowering plants that are only found in Jamaica. I am Marlon Samuels. Join me to learn more about Jamaica's native and endemic flora and fauna.
Know your natives and endemics. Sundays at 11:15 a.m. exclusively on PBCJ, the People's Station.
Zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table on the side or the back. You fi check out the servings, just do the maths. Not taking too much, finger below the facts. Zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table on the side or the back. Take note of the sodium, the sugars and the fats. 5% or less in the on the right track. You fi zoom in on the nutrition facts. It there in the table on the side or the back. Vitamins, minerals and vitamin 2, 20% and more that good for you. You fi zoom in. Check the nutrition facts. You fi zoom in. Check the nutrition facts. You fi zoom in. Check the nutrition facts. Less sugar, less salt intake and less fat. You fi zoom in.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Jamaica Moves, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, the National Health Fund, and Japan.
Jamaica's agriculture is on the move, and the world is watching. This September, discover how sustainable agribusiness, global reach, local impact is transforming our future. At JAIF 2025, the Jamaica Agribusiness Investment Forum, explore financing opportunities, forge powerful partnerships, and connect with global markets ready for Jamaican products. Join us in Montego Bay, September 17 to 19, and plant the seed that will take your agribusiness to the next level. Register today at agribizjamaica.com. Let's grow Jamaica's agricultural future together.
Breathe in the breath of life. Saturdays and Sundays at 7:30 a.m., Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:30 a.m. on PBCJ, the People's Station.
We want a piece for Jamaica. Yo, what are you?
Oh man, none of that. No, brother, no, man. Mash up that, man.
You see you ever play ref? Dirty game,
Yeah,
no
but
play.
a little ball game. No, I said, place when you come from, brother, I want to live good, man. I want to live good, Bridging. No shake hand, I can play a little ball, Bridging.
Really have to shake hand?
Yeah, man, and no badness, Bridging. Just live good, man.
Come together and make the violence done.
Send the something and come back. Back to sender. God, I thank you so much.
Miracles await and miracles abound. Tune in every Sunday at 7 a.m. for your share of the Miracle Revival Hour with Reverend Dr. Blair. Come for the word, stay for the worship, right here on PBCJ.
Miracle worker, work one for me.
Jamaica has more than 28 species of birds, land snails, reptiles, amphibians, and hundreds of flowering plants that are only found in Jamaica. I am Marlon Samuels. Join me to learn more about Jamaica's native and endemic flora and fauna.
Know your natives and endemics. Sundays at 11:50.
Welcome back to the Race to 32 as Nationwide covers the results from the 19th general election since 1944. We're adding North Central St. Andrew to the JLP's tally. Delano Sivrite will be going to the House of Representatives, already a parliamentarian sitting in the upper house, but now he gets to debate bills and pass them into law and not just review them as he did before as a senator. Cliff, now is a good time to lean heavily on Blue Dot to see what Janae has for us, especially that race in Kingston Central. Can't believe it's taking so long to count 5 boxes.
Well, it is.
But
yes,
it is,
Janae?
and it appears to be highly contested because they're not updating those boxes. That's still outstanding.
So have to go to a magisterial recount.
We were also looking at Northwest Manchester as an area to focus. Right now, that is still looking like a fairly comfortable lead for Phillips, Michael Phillips of the PNP, with 5,625 or 55.29% of the vote, compared to Damian Young with 4,521. So the PNP is ahead there. We still have just over 20 boxes left to be counted based on this latest information. Let's look at St. James. Most of the parish, just looking at the view here, this is St. James for those who are looking at on screen, is green, with the exception of St. James Southern, where Nikisha Burchell is now just ahead of the incumbent Homer Davis there. So she has 4,471 votes compared to Davis's 4,307, but still quite a number of boxes to be counted, 68 of 106. So there is still some time. We still have to keep an eye on that one because it is still quite close. The rest of the parish lit up fairly green. So let's look at St. James Central. The JLP is ahead with 3,589 votes for Heroy Clark, compared to 2,627 for Janice Allen of the PNP.
Well, Jenny, I can tell you, I'm being informed dutifully here that Homer Davis has won South St. James by 95 votes.
Wow.
I'm being told by one of our correspondents, they're very experienced campaigner.
Clean sweep St. James.
Yes, so the
That's what
JLP
I'm
have
being told
swept
now.
St. James is what we're being told.
All right, that person is at EOJ. That's based on EOJ stats.
That's based on those numbers.
All right, I will wait for them to upload it to us so we can show it to the audience on the smartboard. But that was the only
I'm
one that
also
was
learning from
holding
another
out.
source in St. James. Clean sweep St. James.
Yep.
Clean sweep St. James.
So Marlene Malahoo
It's all
Fort has
green.
won West Central St. James.
All
Homer
right.
Davis has won Southern St. James. Heroy Clark has won Central St. James. And then Dr. Spence, the other 2 seats were never in doubt.
Bartlett and Chang,
No.
yes.
All right,
No, that
so
is significant. Yes?
St. James is all green. We wait for those updates from
That is
the
significant
EOJ
because
in the next batch.
Because to clear that 18-seat hurdle, the PNP
They would have
needed
needed
to snatch 1 or 2
2 from St.
from
James.
St. James.
Correct.
And they have not been able to. And South St. James was the most likely one. Right, Desmond?
Yes.
That was the most likely one. That's a Derek Kelly seat that they held for several terms. Yeah? And Nikisha Burchell, a young woman from the area, put up a spirited fight. Yeah? But she has been defeated by the old hand of Homer Davis. You know, Homer Davis has quite a history in that seat. He contested it 3 times and lost 3 times to Derek Kelly before he actually won in 2020.
You know what I want to point out, though, and you should, both of you can help me with this. I remember it may have been a local government election in Hanover where there was a winner declared on election night by, say, 50-odd votes. And when it went to the recount, the loser ended up winning by 300 and odd votes. So I just say that to say that
Some of them are
these things will be settled in the coming days, but this is just preliminary results. But the preliminary results do suggest that the JLP has performed, well, according to some analysts, they've overperformed. But according to them, they'll tell you that they always had St. James as a safe space for them and that they didn't expect to relinquish any of the seats they had because they held all the cards in the parish.
They would be disappointed, the JLP, that is, that they didn't hold on to Eastern Hanover. They really thought Dave Brown had turned it around in Eastern Hanover. Another one we need to watch, what's happening in Northern Trelawney? That's where Wickham McNeil is up against Tova Hamilton. What is happening there?
Right. Well, the last information we have, your team might have something more updated, but the last information coming into the board is that he is ahead by around 300 or so votes, 4,468 for Wickham McNeil to Tova Hamilton's 4,132, and they still had quite a bit to go based on this information. This was at 67 box counted. So
67 of how many?
Of 135.
Oh, that's a lot more, still quite a way to go.
So they still have quite a way to go. We'll wait to see what comes in the next update. George looks like he has more recent information than I do.
I have something. Well, not on that one. I'm not troubling you on that one, Janae.
Okay.
I'm being told reliably that in southeast St. Elizabeth at 9:13 p.m., it's now 9:14, that Frank Witter is leading Norman Scott by 1,700 votes. I don't know how old that race is, but it has to be quite old, the count. Frank Witter ahead by 1,700 in southeast St. Elizabeth. Another significant obstacle in the PNP's route to Jamaica House.
Yes, and in northeast St. Elizabeth, the PNP has picked up northeast St. Elizabeth. Zulika Jess has defeated Delroy Slowly. Yes, she polled, according to one of my sources in the constituency, Jess won with 8,254 to Slowly's 7,523. And she says, jubilation in northeast St. Elizabeth. Yes, yes, yeah. So, and that again was a must win, must pick up for the PNP.
And also Floyd Green's seat.
Yes, but Floyd Green, what's the latest on that one?
I'm going to tell you in short order. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to get that update. In fact, Wayne is still online now. Wayne, are you there? Is Wayne hearing us? Not yet. All right. We're gonna get from Wayne what that board there is showing them. But well, let's do the declaration first and come back with the update. See if we can get Southwest St. Elizabeth in.
Well, the latest I have from Southwest St. Elizabeth, 94% of the votes in JLP, 9,044 for Floyd Green, well ahead of Miranda Wellington, 7,650. If Floyd Green wins this, then it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
I need to get how old the Frank Witter count is, because that, if Southeast St. Elizabeth is over and then we add Southwest St. Elizabeth, we can have an early night. We don't have to stay here all night, because if those two go, along with Eastern St. Andrew, and Western St. Mary seems headed to the labor rights with Bobby Montague, then we can call it a night.
Okay, Wayne?
Yes, I'm here. You hear me?
Yes. What more can you tell us in terms of the numbers?
You hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you. We're hearing you, Wayne.
Yes, I can give you a copy on the Wickham.
Oh, Lord.
It's 84%.
What the hell is happening? Hold on. Hold on, Wayne. Hold on, Wayne. The audio is wobbling again. Yes? Wayne, you want to try again?
Yeah, the team says the quality is horrible, so they have to abandon that for the time being. I'm just trying to get that update. If we look at, all right, Before we go to the declaration graphic, well, let's acknowledge Zuleika Jess for entering the race first time and winning.
In St. Elizabeth North.
In St. Elizabeth Northeastern, she lost in Clarendon Central
against Mike Henry.
Yes.
In 2020, she's an attorney at law, and she went to St. Elizabeth Northeast with one main goal: retake it from the Labour Party, and she did that tonight. Yes, so they will be happy for her and the PNP constituency organization there.
Just to see where your map is relative to where the results are, look at Northeast St. Elizabeth and see how far this map is showing you the count is in terms of progression.
Northeast St. Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay, the Zoom people are still with us. Damian Blake, Wayne Chen. Wayne Chen. Wayne Chen?
Yes, sir.
Your reaction to what is now a clear trend of the Labour Party ahead? We're not prepared to call it just yet, but clearly ahead.
Many of us predicted a close election, and it was a ding-dong battle, as Wayne Walker would say, in the run-up to today. And you could see the shift back and forth, and much of it depended, in the end, on the candidate on the ground. You can see where strong candidates have won. Weaker candidates have lost or struggled. But the trend is clear. The GLP will be re-elected with a much, much reduced majority.
Yes.
I suspect it will be in the perhaps 33, 35, 36 seats.
Range. Professor Blake?
Yes, the people have spoken, they are speaking. I think the St. James, I was watching St. James, that seat with Burchell. And so when I saw that flip to the JLP, I said that then it looks like the JLP will go away with this one. The St. Mary's seat with Bobby Montague also was instructive. And so, yeah, it was a close one, right? And, you know, you would think that with all the resume of performance that the governing party ran on, that it seems to me that the incumbency, the anti-incumbency kind of trend kicked in, right? The third term is very difficult. That's very difficult for parties to win 2 times, much less a 3-peak. And so I think that is also at play here. But it looks like the JLP will walk away with this one, but marginally.
Well, marginally, but it is of historic importance.
Very
yes?
much so.
Andrew Holness, it seems, is on track to create history. Unprecedented. Isn't that so, Desmond?
I don't know.
Ricardo at Belmont Road, are you hearing us, Ricardo? Ricardo?
Oh, dear.
Ricardo, are you hearing us? Nah, the audio is, I don't know, man. Oh, well.
Can we get him on the phone? Just simply get him on the phone.
This is the phone.
Oh.
Ricardo, are you hearing us? I'm hearing you, but you sound as if you are under 5 beds. Go again, Ricardo, are you hearing us?
George, are you hearing me?
Yeah, the audio. Well, tell us what's happening at Belmont Road. Let's see how the audio works. Ricardo? All right, so, yeah, the audio, again, is undermining the points that we're trying to highlight for the listeners. But before we go, is Wayne online? Is Wayne online? Is Wayne online? Is Wayne online?
Oh dear.
It's the quality of the audio.
No.
Okay. All right. Saeed, where we are now, the JLP seems headed for a 3rd term. The PNP falling short in some key seats, although even an analyst who's not been paying attention would expect the opposition party to pick up several seats that would have slipped from its grasp in 2020. It does appear as if Holness is on the verge of going to Jamaica House again to be sworn in.
Victory continues, or the paths rather, they had several paths to take, but that seems to be narrowing down. Interestingly, looking at St. Andrew West Central just now, the Prime Minister's seat, interestingly, George and Cliff, I see where, I don't know if that still holds now, but last I checked, Paul Buchanan was leading the Prime Minister in that seat. Very interesting one for you all to pick up. Certainly we don't expect that to hold, but very interesting. I've never seen that before since I've been working with elections.
No, this is surprising.
Absolutely surprising.
Because here it is, I'm just back onto the EOJ website, 83% of the votes counted in the Prime Minister's constituency, and Buchanan of the PNP is leading by 100 votes.
Again, I don't expect it to hold, I can say
105,
that. But
yes.
it is significant to my mind at this stage.
It's huge.
Significant.
But
that this is happening.
Cliff, remember
hold on, Desmond. Just look at these numbers.
18 boxes to go.
18 boxes to go. It should not be nowhere this close. Yeah? Nowhere this close.
But no, Cliff, it is not a JLP constituency, you know.
It is Andrew Holness's constituency.
The Prime Minister but what I'm saying, it is not like West Kingston.
No, it's not like a West Kingston, but the Prime Minister should not be within reach.
But what I will say, though, is this reminds me of last election as well, when Peter Phillips's seat was also in a bit of turmoil where the numbers were concerned, but he managed to hold on and go through the tape. Well, let me get some views from the young people, because very interesting stuff are happening in the election. Suel beside me saying that she's stressed out. I don't know why she's stressed. I mean, if that's how you look when you're stressed out, then, you know, give me some stress. But Suel, tell me.
Let me just tell you this. I'm just being told by one of my sources.
Yes.
All boxes are still to be counted. Seaward primary in the Prime Minister's constituency. Yeah. Those boxes are still to be counted. Yeah, and there are 18 boxes to be counted.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So let us see what happens.
And Saeed, just before you go, let me just prime what you're saying with this.
Yes, sir.
Kingston Central. In the time we've been here, they've added 2 more boxes to the tally. As you would expect, they're arguing over each and every ballot pulled out of those boxes. So 2 more boxes counted, and Williams' lead is diminishing. Donovan Williams now only 68 in front of Steve McGregor as they inch to the 80-box mark. They've gone 77 of 80 boxes. McGregor is leading by 68 votes. I can tell you that also we can add another one to the JLP column. Not surprising here that Southwest St. Catherine, the monster that is Everald Warmington, roaring home. He's now 10,551 votes. This may be the first candidate anywhere across the island to breach the 10,000 vote mark. Dr. Kurt Wall, 8,444. So look at Warmington's tally. 2,000 plus ahead of Wall, and there's still 1 box to be counted. So this one is JLP, and as usual, Warmington in domineering fashion in the general election.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very interesting stuff there, George. And that's just been declared Clifford Everald Warmington. But ladies and gentlemen, very interestingly, we were talking earlier about misinformation, information, and how this plays, especially in the social media space, with young people leading up to an election. You've been seeing the results so far. You've been seeing the clash of words, the clash of information.
Can I just give you 2 more? Go on. The East Rural St. Andrew.
Yes.
Juliet Holness's seat. Yes, she has won it.
Okay.
Yes, 90% of the votes counted. She's ahead by almost 1,000 votes, 8,445 to 7,487. St. Thomas West, the PNP had hopes of finally beating James Robertson. Roberts is getting home with 85% of the votes counted. He's ahead by almost 1,000 votes. Yeah, the JLP has lost Eastern St. Thomas.
Yes.
Michelle Charles has been defeated.
Never led, trailed from the first
Very
box
stark.
was counted, yeah, and never recovered. Saeed.
Yes, so dealing with information, misinformation, grappling with all of that in the space, seeing the results so far, do you think it made an impact?
It definitely did. And I think I was doing...
I'm sorry.
Cliff, you have another one?
Yes.
Go ahead, Sir Cliff, go ahead.
It seems as if Anne-Marie Vaz has been defeated by Isaac Buchanan.
Wow. Yeah, it's supposed to be 1-1 in Portland and 1-1 in St.
Let
Thomas.
me give you the numbers. In Eastern Portland, with 99.3% of the votes counted,
If he's ahead, he's one.
Isaac Buchanan, 8,290. Vaz, Anne-Marie, 8,072.
1 box to go.
1 box to go.
And here's the thing.
Sai, can I give you one before you...
No, hold on. No, I think that's going to hold, and here's why.
Yeah.
What stood out to me with that campaign is Isaac Buchanan went on a drive with young people in that constituency, gave out 1,000 tablets.
Yes.
Don't know if you recall it.
Yes.
I'm not surprised at all that it's that close. Certainly not surprised that he's in the lead right now.
Well, here's what we can do too. We can declare Southeast St. Elizabeth. Frank, they call him. Frank Witter has come home with 3 boxes left. He's leading Norman Scott by 1,996 votes.
Yeah. That's over.
1996, all over bar the shouting. Southeast St. Elizabeth, chalk up that one for Frank Witter. Well, this was very preliminary. Only 3 boxes to go in that. So 106 of 109 boxes counted, and Frank Witter is leading by 1,996 votes.
Can you bring up St. Mary West? 85% of the votes in. Bobby Montague is ahead, 8,182. Woodbine of the PNP, 7,403. That's a lead of 700.
Yeah.
With 85% of the votes counted.
Can I add to that?
So it means that Bobby Montague is going back to the parliament. He has recovered.
Can I add to that? Can I add to that? Which is why I'm giving you the luxury of calling the election and calling it right this time. Because here's this thing.
Clyde Green.
Exactly. Western St. Mary is going to the JLP. Southeast St. Elizabeth has been won by the JLP, and Southwest St. Elizabeth, bring that up, with very few boxes left. Green, 9,278. Dr. Wellington, 7,865. The gap, the Brits have a saying when they say mind the gap. Mind the gap. Southwest St. Elizabeth, that gap looks too big in the boxes left to count for Dr. Miranda Wellington to breach. It appears as if the JLP have held the 3 seats that are most needed to get to Jamaica House. Yeah, these are numbers with what, 8 and 5, 13, 5 boxes to go. Southwest St. Elizabeth is declared for the JLP.
And we can tell you, Rhoda Moy Crawford by Wayne Walker from the EOJ Center is saying with 99% of the votes counted, Rhoda Moy Crawford has won Central Manchester. 9,035 to Donovan Mitchell's 8,861.
So can you go ahead now?
Roll the tape. We have a winner.
We have a winner. Of the election?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. We are calling the election, folks.
Yeah. Studio, you ready?
Yes, we are calling the general election.
There's no other route. There's no other route.
Magisterial recount.
Let's go. Let's go, folks.
749, 876.
We're not just calling Central Manchester, we're calling the whole thing. The JLP have won the election.
You have to call Floyd as well. Is Floyd called?
Studio.
Steve McGregor in Central. By 12 votes.
Being told that Steve McGregor has come home in Kingston Central by 12 votes.
Wow.
12 votes.
Not too close.
Studio.
Magisterial recount.
Well, listeners, viewers, at 9:32, we are reporting that the governing Jamaica Labour Party, led by 53-year-old Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, has won a third consecutive term in office, becoming the first and only Jamaica Labour Party leader to win 3 consecutive terms. Never before done by the great founder of the party, the hero, Sir Alexander Bustamante, revered by Labourites, Andrew Michael Holness has done what no other Labour Party leader has done. He has defied the odds. He has been resilient as a political figure after being assaulted, attacked, and pilloried for nearly 2-3 years. His personal integrity on the line. The people of Jamaica have stayed with him. Tonight, they have returned him to Jamaica House, and with it, handed the opposition People's National Party, led by Mark Jefferson Golding, a defeat. They have lost their bid to overturn an 18-seat deficit to take Jamaica House. The Labour Party has won. George.
Yeah, well, I think it's proper to throw it to our panelists. Let's start with Professor Damian Blake reacting to the declaration here on Nationwide Revo TV that the JLP will reoccupy Jamaica House, Professor Blake.
Yes, I mean, this is history, right? As I just said before, a while ago, the three-peat is very difficult. As an incumbent, that's a very difficult thing to do. But the Prime Minister and the Labour Party ran on a resume of things that they did in the economy with crime management, and it seems that that took them home. It looks like the Jamaican people have said, we will invest our trust in someone who has been behind the wheel, who has steadied the wheel, who has steadied the ship, and they are willing to give the Labour Party and the Prime Minister one more go at it to continue to bring Jamaica to the kind of goals that they want to see happening. So congratulations to the Labour Party and to the Prime Minister.
Dr. Spence?
Well, we listed all the reasons in one of our discussions on debate night why it would be difficult for the JLP to retain power. It's a time when incumbents are not finding favor with the electorate, and we listed all these places around the world where incumbents have lost. So we knew they had an uphill climb. The JLP and the PM have suffered the onslaught of the PNP for the last 2.5 years consistently, so much so that the message of achievements was not getting through in the regular way. And so the fact that even though there are some severe blows to the PNP, to the JLP, in terms of the seats that have been lost, they have still managed to hold on to a victory. And a third term for the JLP, which, you know, as you both have pointed out, it would be the first time that this has happened for the JLP. So it is a historic night, you know, it is a historic night. I think there were so many cautions that were being, you know, put out there. The JLP, both the JLP and the PNP campaigned real hard. The JLP campaigned. They really pulled out all the stops, and I guess they knew what they were going up against in respect of this incumbency, being busy in office, and how that impacts the vote. So they have a win. They have a win. You have to give them credit for it.
Desmond?
Well, the voters have spoken, and when we have to give the voters the... Well, first of all, I understand that the voters have returned the JLP, and whatever the consequences of that victory, they will have to bear it. It is now clear both political parties, the two political parties that have ruled Jamaica since 1944, have served now for 3 terms. Let us see what the JLP is going to project, what it is going to bring to the country, how it is going to, what it is going to do to improve the lives of the people, because in spite of this victory, there are significant numbers of people, both PNP and JLP black people, who are still suffering. Let us see what is going to be done to bring water to people, what is going to be done to improve on the medical supplies for people, what is going to be done. Well, I heard the Prime Minister saying that he's going to raise the minimum wage. Now let us see what is going to be done to improve the lives of black people in Jamaica.
Wayne Chen, your reaction?
This will be the shortest honeymoon any government has ever enjoyed after winning an election. I think the people have never been wrong collectively in terms of election results since independence, certainly since universal adult suffrage. There is it's a beautiful thing to see this manifestation of our democracy in action. That said, I think if the people have spoken, and this is what they have said in essence. We want you to continue building on the successes that we have enjoyed in recent years. A steep reduction for the first time in violent crime and homicide, a firmer economic base, more macroeconomic stability, the inkling of building out of infrastructure. But as Desmond said, a lot of these beautiful numbers have not filtered down to make a meaningful impact, at least the feeling of a meaningful impact in the lives of ordinary Jamaicans. We have to pivot towards inclusive economic growth. We have to pivot towards better education. We have to pivot towards an economic transformation that will allow us to rise relative to other countries and not lag behind and lag behind. That means hard things to be done day one, because there is no honeymoon. These things are not possible in the middle of a government's life cycle. These things are not possible near an election. You have to expend political capital early, because transformation is never easy, and the results of longer-term policy prescriptions are never apparent in the short term. People feel pain in the short term before they see the benefits in the medium and long term. So the government has to go to work in a matter of days with a plan ready to implement. Some of it has been hinted at. During an election campaign, we only hear about the goodies. Once upon a time, we'd hear about the eucalyptus oil, but nobody wants to talk about eucalyptus oil anymore, because that is not an election winner. An election is won. Parliament is going to be a very interesting place. I don't expect Peter Bunting, Dayton Campbell, some of the new ladies who have come in on the opposition benches, they are not going to sit there and give the government a free pass.
And by the way,
is going to have to justify its every move going forward.
And by the way,
it's going to be interesting going forward.
Wayne, as you talk about ladies, Nikisha Burchell, according to the Electoral Office, has won Southern St. James.
Oh wow!
Yes. George?
Yeah, that's what that's what I was coming to confirm as well.
Yeah, she has won.
So the margin is thinner for the JLP on the preliminary count, but the result still holds. I throw it to Saeed Bernard.
And just a moment, yes. Northern Trelawney, the EOJ, yes, only 10% of the votes left, and Tova Hamilton is leading by more than 200 votes.
Yeah.
So that is not yet called.
Right. Shahid, I send it to you, Sewell and Company, with this comment that Holness, there's another piece of history that Holness has achieved on this night. He's the first leader of a political party in Jamaica to defeat 3 rivals in general elections. He took out Mrs. Simpson Miller, took out Peter Phillips, and tonight, Mark Jefferson Golding, victim number 3.
Because on the last occasion, with PJ Patterson, he faced Edward Seago twice.
All the times.
Yeah, very interesting. And he's also our youngest prime minister, isn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Ricardo is at Belmont Road. Let's go to Belmont Road and see what's happening there. Ricardo? Ricardo?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we are. We're hearing you well. Go ahead.
All right, so I am at Belmont Road, and the Labourites, of course, heard the call on Revo TV, the race to 32, and they immediately erupted. It has become a carnival-like atmosphere here at Belmont Road. We have now seen several cabinet ministers rolling in. Favour Williams came here to a rock star welcome, which she accepted on the steps of Belmont Road. Local government minister is also here, so to the party's general secretary and the country's national security minister and deputy prime minister. But the Labourites are in a very, very jubilant mood. In fact, when they heard the call that Rhoda Moy Crawford has retained central Manchester, the fever pitch of the noise got to a frenzy. I myself called Miss Crawford to confirm that she had in fact won, and she said yes, yes, yes. The Labourites, I think, felt that was the sweetest call of the night.
Any sign of the party leader yet, Ricardo?
No sign of him yet, no.
What about the General Secretary?
Senior cabinet ministers who have seen so far huddled in a room, but we have not yet seen and Dr. Andrew Holness.
All right, thank you, Ricardo. Ricardo Brooks there at JLP headquarters. I'm sure we'll go back to him because we have to get the initial reaction from the Prime Minister. Saeed, you were saying?
Yes. Kevin, nobody's butting in, right? Okay, good. Just checking. So let's get some reaction from our two panelists here. Starting with you and then Suel.
Yeah, so I think it's a good look for democracy. It's more balanced now, so we get more accountability, I think, on both sides, as I believe a panelist mentioned earlier. So that look for democracy. So when the government proposes something, we can get better rebuttals and counter proposals from the opposition. In terms of like certain constituencies, it's a bit surprising to me. For example, Anne-Marie Vaz's constituency.
A lot of roads and infrastructure development and all of that.
Right, you're very active in the campaign procedure with her husband. So very surprising to me, I think. Rhoda Moy Crawford was also a bit concerning going into it because it seemed that she was trailing behind a bit, but congratulations to her, I guess, on her victory. So I think overall it's just a good look for democracy tonight.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I think it's a very instructive election, I will say, because I think a lot of people went in very confident that the JLP, even if they didn't do that huge sweep, but it would be more comfortable. And I think based on a lot of the results coming from the seats, it's very instructive. A lot of the seats are surprising to me. I'm very surprised
you keep saying it's instructive. You use that word twice. What are the instructions from the election so far?
It shows that something has switched.
What has switched?
And even with all of the achievements that they have been campaigning on, you would think that it would be, like I said, a comfortable win tonight for the JLP, but it is not. So what is that?
There's an ingredient that's missing. There's something that's not connecting.
And I think, and I said it yesterday, that the campaign that the PMP had was a very successful campaign.
Oh, well, I mean, was it successful they're not successful at the polls, though?
We can say that the JLP had, the better campaign on paper. But I think what the PMP wanted to do, they achieved it. And even if they didn't win, for it to be this close says something. And for the Prime Minister to be looking at that seat, like all of us are looking like, what is going on? It says something. So I think what they wanted to do, which I think a big part of it was to create that distrust.
But isn't that what any opposition does to the government?
Yes, but it worked. It worked brilliantly this time. And the numbers are showing it. A lot of the seats that we thought would have definitely come home for the JLP, even if they won it, it's very shaky.
But did not come home enough. They probably would have needed more to go over to the line of 32 is what you're saying then. Interesting stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been quite interesting, and Cliff is about to butt in again, as he always does. And that is totally fine, Cliff. Right at you.
No.
Go right at it, sir.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, all I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that the numbers are showing. It is very interesting that on social media, as I've been following, the young people have been glued to their television sets. They have been glued to their laptops. A lot of them are saying, well, we have voted, let us see how our votes have come out. And I think for the first in a very long time, I get this sense and this energy that our generation, they want to participate more in the process, not just at the polls, But now they'll be talking more about accountability. Now they'll be talking more about their demands and what they want and what they need to see in a future Jamaica. And so I think at the end of the day, notwithstanding, it's a very... Jamaica has won in the sense that more people are engaged in the process. This myth, as Kevin calls it, and rightly so perhaps, that young people don't, vote or they're not engaged in the process might be dispelled, because we're seeing more and more people coming out and engaging in the process, not just at the polls, but we will see it beyond the polls where accountability and demands are concerned.
Well,
but
go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead, Desmond.
There are some. What is the final seat count? What it is?
34-29 we have now, based on where the parties are. We talk about declared seats based on the preliminary count and seats where a party is leading deep into the count. It's 34-29, 34 JLP. Yeah.
The other thing that we need to know, what percentage of the registered voters voted.
41%.
Voter turnout was about 41%?
Yeah, I saw that somewhere. It was about 41%.
That is low.
It's higher than last
year.
We had that discussion earlier about how
we had a raging debate earlier.
I was expecting at least 50. As a matter of fact, I was expecting a 55% turnout in this.
Yes. Desmond, let's go to another Desmond. Hold the point there, former PJ boss. Desmond McKenzie is with Ricardo Brooks at Belmont Road. Ricardo?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Proceed, please proceed.
All right, I'm here with JLP Deputy Leader, Local Government Minister, Desmond McKenzie. Let me get your reaction to what's unfolding tonight.
Well, we're seeing history being created, the first time in the history of this great and noble institution, the Jamaica Labour Party, the country, we have supported our efforts for a third term in government. I must use the opportunity to say to my party leader and Prime Minister that he has done wonders. He has done something that many, well, not few of us, few Prime Ministers before, from the Labour Party as a time. The results tonight, although not yet fully concluded, speaks volume to the work of the Labour Party government and the efforts that people take. In the era of council, I'm particularly pleased because a number of seats were targeted in the era of council, and you were able to retain the majority of seats. We are watching the numbers with Central Kingston. We will look at that and the determination as to what will happen after that. But I am pleased of my party.
But you really took a battery tonight, though. The margin has been significantly reduced.
Well, let us put it this way. It is difficult to win a first one. It's even more difficult to win a second term. And a mountain to climb winning a fourth term. Whatever the numbers are, if it's true, a majority that you have to accept and appreciate that. To give credit and to thank those persons who has fallen virtue in the Labour Party for us in opportunity. Yes, when those the important thing is that
the numbers we're seeing so far from West Central, St. Andrews, suggest the Prime Minister is actually locked in very close contest. But what's happening there?
No, that is, one of the things that a lot of people don't know, that in elections, there are polling stations that favors candidates. And when those boxes are in a county, it is one of 4 cents. I would be saying the same thing. If it was in reverse, no. The fact is that those boxes that carry the majority of votes that favors in that that when those boxes are is 5 hours.
The audio is awful, so we have to abandon that for the minute. The Labourites gathering at Belmont Road, and the JLP Deputy Leader Desmond McKenzie, reflecting in the immediate term on the victory this evening. Not looking like a man, Cliff, not wearing the facial expression of a man who has just helped his party to win a general election.
No, no, because the Labour Party took a bruising tonight. By our count, it stands at 34-29. Yes? 34-29.
And one of the 29 that the PNP is leading in is West Central St. Andrew, where the Prime Minister is 83% of boxes counted. He is 105 votes behind Paul Buchanan.
And it means that the Labour Party would have lost 14 seats tonight. Yes? 14 seats. Put another way, the PNP fell short by only 4 seats.
Yes.
Yeah? They had to clear 18, they cleared 14. Yeah? So the Labour Party got a big, big message tonight. Yes? That, listen, you have squeaked home. Yeah?
Only squeaked.
Yes, only squeaked home. And what will the next 5 years bring?
Oh, sounds ominous.
Well, I'm just repeating myself that, you know, the vast majority of people in Jamaica have not felt this prosperity that commentators, including Cliff too, talk about. The the conditions, right, in the hospitals, the cost of living, right, all those things. I am looking forward to see what the government is going to do about a land reform. Both parties have not heard. Both parties talking about land reform to make land available to people in Jamaica, right? Houses. I heard the government talking about houses. They are going to build 60 houses, 60,000 houses. Well, we are going to hold the government to all those promises because the vast majority of people have not felt this. The growth in Jamaica has not filtered down into the lives of the vast majority of people. They are still suffering.
Wayne Chen,
he's not online.
Wayne Chen?
I think we lost him.
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, Wayne Chen is there. Wayne Walker is the one who fell. Do you believe in Pyrrhic victories?
If I believe in them, I know they are a regular historical occurrence. As I said earlier, this is going to be the shortest honeymoon that any winning party has enjoyed since universal adult suffrage. I would have to go back to the election of 1967 to think of an event like this. Expectation is high, trust is diminished. It's a difficult road, and the opposition is strengthened in the House. And as I say, the government, I pray, has the plan in their back pocket as to the things that have to be done in the first 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, that may be difficult, but will yield the results in 2 to 3 to 5 and the longer term. Something that has bedeviled many Jamaican administrations, and that is policy continuity and the ability to use empirical data to plan for the long term. We have long had an education crisis, which only gets mentioned in the passing in the run-up to the election. We have talked about the stagnant productivity improvement increases in the country that have Jamaica near the bottom of the pile for decades, but it does not become a political issue. Desmond touched on land reform, one that is dear to me, that has not really been touched, but rapid registration of ownership of land in Jamaica and the titles to the homes in which hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans live has the potential to unlock a quantum leap forward in wealth in this country. But it's not an easy thing that can be done over the span of late in administration. It's something that has to be addressed early. But more than anything else, no government has the capacity to do all these things, because it's not the politicians that drive these things, that do these things. It is the other part of Westminster, which is Whitehall, the bureaucracy, the public service. We can't, by decree, improve education overnight. We can't, by decree, mandate that 100,000 or 200,000 property titles be handed out. We can't, by decree, engineer the digital transformation of government and, by extension, the rest of the country. But these are things that we can make significant strides forward early, but it would mean prioritizing spending on these things to the exclusion of other things. We won't be able to fix every road, fix every school, fix public health simultaneously. Some hard choices will have to be made early to signal where this government is headed. But there are hard things that have to be done, because to try to do too many things and do them poorly will only mean that Jamaica will drift longer, and the goodies will not filter down to the average man and woman industry.
You know, I don't want to be pulled into the trap of one of those analysts or commentators who invite people to eulogize when a party has won a general election. So let me switch it up and ask Professor Blake this. What does this say about the maxim that Jamaica is PNP country?
I mean, I don't like this saying that Jamaica is PNP country or JLP country, but you know, as I said earlier, given the resume of performance that the government laid out, this race really shouldn't have been this close. And, you know, I think the PNP's strategy of talking about the integrity issue, you know, whether or not it was all true, the point is if you keep saying something over time, it has a very deep and resounding impact. And you can see that impact is happening. I mean, in the Prime Minister's own constituency right now, he's struggling in the numbers. So I think the PNP they went out early and they ran a good campaign. They energized their base and they came out and they voted. So this kind of victory for the JLP is a victory with many asterisks, right? Because they didn't get the kind of resounding yes from the electorate, and they lost a number of the seats that they had before. And as Wayne said, some tough decisions will have to be made by the government going forward. Because, you know, that old adage about the trickle-down effect, yes, some of the numbers were there, but what about the lived experience of Jamaicans? I listen to public radio every day, and I can hear the pain points of Jamaicans every single day talking about things in healthcare, the cost of living. So it's okay to have macroeconomic, deliverables and macroeconomic goodies. But if it's not really, again, it sounds cliche, if it's not really trickling down to people on the ground and not feeling that sense of well-being and their pain points aren't being alleviated, this is the kind of, as you say, George, victory that you will get in an election or a loss.
Yeah.
And so some tough decisions have to be made going forward.
Yeah, let me hear from Wayne Walker at EOJ's Counting Center. Wayne, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, George.
Okay, what's the board showing you about West Central St. Andrew? That's the seat we're interested in.
What is happening?
Wayne, are you hearing me?
Apparently, none of the C-word. None of the C-word boxes have come in.
Wayne, what? Is he there? Are you there, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm here, George.
All right. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, it's still.
I'm hearing you better now. Are you hearing me?
What is West Central situation?
It is still 83% of the votes counted, and it is still Paul. That's what the board is showing.
Yeah.
Paul still leading with 4,867 to the Prime Minister's 4,762.
Can you give us the? No. Can you give us the fact? No, we have to abandon that. Yeah, that's the latest we have from West Central St. Andrew. Can we get the latest from Central Kingston?
That was declared.
Oh, that was declared already. Not Central Kingston. I want the final tally from Southeast St. Elizabeth. Southeast St. Elizabeth. Can we get the final tally for Southeast St. Elizabeth? Do we have that? Southeast St. Elizabeth, final tally for Southeast St. Elizabeth. I'm getting a final tally for East Rural. So the JLP, well, I'm getting a tally for East Rural. The JLP 8,426. The PNP 7,587 with 123 of 137 boxes to go. And in West Rural St. Andrew, the JLP 8,290, the PNP 7,157. So guess what? Juliet Cuthbert Flynn has resoundingly won re-election in West Rural St. Andrew, beating Joan Gordon Webley by over 1,000 votes. Only 2 boxes left to count based on the tally I've been given. Only 2 boxes left, and with over 1,000 vote difference, no 2 boxes have so many votes in them for one candidate in this context. And so Juliet Cuthbert Flynn has won in West Rural St. Andrew for a third term.
And if you remember when Juliet was going in that seat, that was a traditional PNP
seat. Yes.
And she's now winning that seat for the 3rd time. So it was a traditional PNP.
Or
the PNP had one.
Yes, because
those 2 seats are not traditional.
Hold on.
PNPs.
What I get Dr. Spence to mean is that the PNP was strong in it at the time Juliet Cuthbert Flynn went there, which is true because Paul Buchanan, the man giving Andrew Holness the fight of his life now, was the MP there. And Juliet Cuthbert Flynn has emulated Dr. Mavis Gilmore as a 3-term MP in West Rural St. Andrew. Let's take the break and come right back.
Always ready. Original crispy.
Most of the ingredients traditionally used by G-Nor families for their daily meals are collected from the immediate surrounding area.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy catch, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium. Tilapia, simple, healthy, delicious.
Greet the Sabbath day with bliss and an open heart. Join the People's Station for the Andrews Memorial Seventh-day Adventist Church service every Saturday at 9 a.m. on PBCJ.
BGLC, the regulatory body. We regulate, you play without worry. We regulate, you play. BGLC, fair play when you play. For the fun of the game, you know when they are. BGLC, keep it fair for the player. You play the game and we are the rules setter. Keep everything fair so the game play better. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. We ensure fairness, integrity and responsible gaming practices. Keep the game fair and fun for everyone. We regulate, you play.
Jamaica has more than 28 species of birds, land snails, reptiles, amphibians, and hundreds of flowering plants that are only found in Jamaica. I am Marlon Samuels. Join me to learn more about Jamaica's native and endemic flora and fauna.
Know your natives and endemics. Sundays at 11:15 a.m. exclusively on PBCJ, the People's Station.
Breathe in the breath of life. Saturdays and Sundays at 7:30 a.m., Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:30 a.m. on PBCJ, the People's Station.
The National Family Planning Board now presents a parenting tip from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Men are what their mothers made them.
PBCJ's Studio National is an excellent soundstage with a reputation for producing superior acoustics. Equipped with blue and green screens, it facilitates digital insertion of visual effects and exciting backgrounds in post-production. Studio National is the largest drive-in studio in the English-speaking Caribbean. Yes, you can actually drive a vehicle right onto the studio floor. With over 4,000 square feet of floor space, the studio can easily be transformed. It has hosted a wide variety of live and recorded productions, including Digital Rising Stars, Schools Challenge Quiz, gospel concerts, the TEF Tourism Debate Competition, and election night coverage. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it was a location for Reggae Sumfest and has hosted several reggae concerts, has hosted workshops, launches, town hall meetings, and over the years has been home to several TV dramas, including Oliver at Large and Lime Tree Lane. In addition to the rental of the studio, we can furnish a full crew to shoot and edit your production. So for your next major live or recorded event, or as a location to shoot films, programs, and commercials, PBCJ's Studio National is your best option. For smaller productions, you can book our more compact studio, Studio B. For bookings, call 876-665-7225 or email prod_pbcj@pbcjamaica.org.
Come with us to Lime Tree Lane, where life is sometimes sour, but sometimes sweet.
I was in the bar yesterday, trying to convert over two man, and my hand make mistake and bungs down them drinks. And the other one said to me, "Why if you right enough and you cut it off, boss?" And same time the two of them just hold me down and cut the hand.
Have a laugh and settle into Lime Tree Lane. Join us Mondays to Fridays at 7 a.m.
And when they done their feet for you, you understand me? No wonder the boy was having a high. No, come back here. Where do you think you're going?
Let me go check in bed. Only on PBCJ, the People's Station.
What a flow, what a flow. What a flow, what a flow. Come on. What a flow, what a flow. What a flow, what a flow. The water put it just like a freestyle. The life block flowing mile by mile. It's legacy, a beat that don't stop like Bob Marley said. One love on top. The sewage water out of sight, but it's always wrong, don't lose the light. From factories and wells so deep, corals, mangroves and fish they weep. Green water for the garden, keep it green. Save the cash and the earth gets clean. We use the water with a mindful mind. It's out of sight but never far behind. In nature, the answers always flow. Like water running pure, the cycle grows. It renews itself, same drop, same beat. It's all good, man, you got the heat. Water flow, water flow. No clean water, no pipes we grow. Protect our water, protect our future.
Time to go.
Get ready to be inspired. Join us on PBCJ's Giving Hearts, the show that celebrates kindness, compassion, and generosity.
So we try to give books, shoes, lunch snacks, and uniform allowance.
We'll share powerful stories of individuals and organizations making a difference across the island each week.
My mother and I felt the need to keep helping children with special needs and other children.
From ordinary people doing extraordinary things to organizations driving positive change.
And we haul up garbage, whether with our nets, hooks, picks.
Giving Hearts will warm your heart and inspire you to take action. Don't miss Giving Hearts, airing Sundays at 8 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on PBCJ, the People's Station.
If you want to volunteer, definitely do it. You get actually a rewarding feeling after.
Join the movement. Spread love. Give from the heart. Giving Hearts, Sundays at 8 p.m., Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. on PBCJ. Follow us on social media at PBC Jamaica for updates and more inspiring stories.
The hurricane season runs from June 1 through November 30. It normally peaks between August and October. Be prepared. Secure the outside of your home. Check the roof of your house and repair areas that might leak. Also, make sure that zinc sheeting is properly fastened. Trim all large trees within 10 feet of your house. Remove patio furniture, potted plants, garbage bins, and toys and place them inside the home. The wind can turn them into missiles. Cover windows with storm shutters. If you don't have storm shutters, use plyboard to cover windows and glass doors. Monitor your radio or television for weather updates and instructions. Be prepared.
Jamaica, let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one republic. We on the road to republic. Well then, let's propel we nation moving forward in a new direction. True independence, that's the projection. No more dependency, it's the best plan. Yes, we know what's best for us, cause we want we country prosperous. So make we just pull together as the general public while on the road to republic. Jamaica, let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one.
Welcome back to Revo TV and Nationwide, covering the race to 32, the 19th general election since 1944. We're based on how the numbers are from the EOJ. The JLP is set to win 34 seats. The PNP set to win 29. Among the 29, the PNP looks set to win the Southeast St. Catherine race between Dr. Alfred Dawes and Robert Miller. Miller won in 2020. Dawes has clawed it back for the PNP. So that one is in the orange column. The race is, as we said, 34-29, and there were some adjustments to make, but not to change how the seat makeup is looking, because the seats that we declared were being led by a particular party. So the 34 seats that we say the JLP have, those are either seats that are leading by significant margins or have been declared for them already preliminarily based on the counting of the boxes, and the same thing is true for the PNP. So 34-29, we have Siobhan Campbell is at PNP HQ. Siobhan, what's happening there?
Good evening, George, and good evening to your panelists as well as our listeners and viewers. I am at Old Hope Road at the PNP headquarters, where the mood has become quite muted. I should say it's quite the tale. When I heard that Nationwide had called it, the people outside were still quite jubilant. Obviously, they're watching a different channel up here at Old Hope Road headquarters, and they were quite jubilant well into around 10 o'clock when it seems the other channel came to what seems to be the conclusion Nationwide had come to long before, and the people started filing out, and the jubilation came to an abrupt end.
Any party bigwig that you have seen at Belmont, at Old Hope Road, beg your pardon, as the comrades digest this election result?
Now, in the last election, 2020, the Jamaican
As I understand it,
had won
Mark
with
Golding is
a
here himself. I saw Dr. Dayton Campbell coming in a short while ago, along with Patricia Duncan Sutherland, Colin Campbell, and Donna Scott Motley. Those so far are the individuals I've seen.
Usually the band is struck up at these occasions, Chevon. Is there music? Is there any revelry or festivities at Old Hope Road at this time?
No, I think these are the declared seats.
Well, as I said, George, until around 10 o'clock, it was quite a jubilant mood here. As the results came in certain seats, there was quite some raucous cheers. But as the other stations to the conclusion that Nationwide came to, things became muted, and you could see the concern on the comrades' faces, and the people have started filing out.
Any idea what time the comrade leader will address those who are still at Old Hope Road?
Watching.
We're inquiring as to when, but it's uncertain as to when we will hear from the comrade leader. He's still inside, probably conferring with his team, so we await that information.
All right, Chevon, it's perhaps a challenge for you to hear, notwithstanding the muted scenario at Old Hope Road. But the PNP digesting falling short in a gallant effort, it must be said. But the ground was just too much to make up.
We ran out of room and they stayed at the racetrack.
Yeah.
Can we go to Southeast St. Mary, George?
Oh yes, let's go. Let's go to Southeast St. Mary.
Southeast St. Mary, based on what we're seeing.
Well, before you go there, the screen is showing popular vote, Sandri. So I'll come to you when Southeast St. Mary comes in. The popular vote, 398,842, 404,953. So nothing much in it. Nothing much in it. It's as predicted in many quarters that it would have been a tight race, and that's what the popular vote is showing at this time.
Yes, Southeast St. Mary?
Yes.
The numbers we have here for Chris Brown, 6,642. For Dr. Norman Dunn, 6,631. That is an 11-vote victory for Chris Brown. And of course, we expect that magisterial recount for this seat as well, alongside Kingston Central as we've seen it. But this is a seat that we expected to be close, but this victory is indeed a good one for the People's National Party, one that they weren't so sure about, I would say, but one that they came away with. And of course, we want to see what happens after the magisterial recount. But that's Chris Brown for the People's National Party for St. Mary Southeastern.
Did he lead all night in that seat?
There's an independent. Was there an independent? It's 49.9. So the independent made a difference.
With 26 votes from the JP.
He made a difference.
Wow. So he may have been the spoiler, the fly in the ointment, as they say in racing terms.
Jahil, does this change the seat count from 34-29?
No.
Yes, we have it at 33-30
Oh,
now.
33-30.
33-30. Yes.
So 2 recounts go the other way and the PNP will win.
It could very well be.
Huh?
As close as 2007.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 recounts go the PNP way and they could be government.
Or it could go the other way. Burchell in
South St. James.
South St. James. Yeah, close.
Yeah, but if the JLP gets 34, it doesn't matter. The PNP gets 32, it matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 33-30.
So that's what the electoral map looks like at this moment in time. Everybody now is just focusing on one seat, West Central St. Andrew, and wondering why is it taking so long to finish up the count. It's not moved from, 87% for about the last hour or so. Mm-hmm. We've been waiting on the seat count to move, but no give in that battle between Paul Buchanan and Andrew Holness.
Is losing. That is what is happening.
Oh yeah, that's what your sources tell you.
Prime Minister is losing over there.
He's lost? He's lost it?
He's losing over there.
Anyway, so at 33-30, at 10:21, we're waiting to hear from the PNP headquarters, yes, where it is expected that we'll hear from the opposition leader
and from the JLP headquarters, where we'll hear from the Prime Minister. I suspect we won't hear from the Prime Minister until his seat is declared.
No, you can't.
If he loses his seat, he's not the Prime Minister anymore.
207 votes separating Burchell and Davis.
So that's outside of a magisterial recount.
Yeah, it's hardly likely,
Yes.
very hardly likely that will be affected by any recount. In Northern Clarendon, Sibley's and Wavell Hines. Wavell Hines leading with, well, Wavell Hines leading with about 3 boxes. Can we see Northern Clarendon on the screen?
That one. And what happened to Hazan?
Let's see Northern Clarendon, please.
Comfortably.
Okay.
Let's see Northern Clarendon.
What's the closest JLP win?
Northern Clarendon. So look at this. 97 of 100. So 3 boxes to go. Sibley's 5,541, but he's short 222. 222 short of Wavell Hines with 2 boxes to go. Everything to play for when those 3 boxes are counted, rather. 3 boxes to go, and Dwight Sibley's just over 200 votes shy of Wavell Hines' number.
And have we seen Trelawney Southern? I think we haven't seen Trelawney Southern in a bit.
Let's look at Paul Patmore and Marissa Dalrymple for Philibert.
Well, interestingly about that seat, George.
Yes.
And Cliff. Paul Patmore seems to be putting up some numbers. I mean, if you compare to the last election, it's a seat to watch, I would say. A seat to watch.
Well, that's why I want to see the numbers. Can you put up Trelawney Southern?
Wickham lost in North.
That race was
yes. I think he did lose in Northern Trelawney.
Are you sure?
Let's take them in order. Let's take them in order. Can we do South Trelawney first and then go to North Trelawney?
Yes.
Let's go to South Trelawney first.
3330. The Prime Minister seat in which column?
It was in the JLP
column.
It will be in the PNP is leading there, so
it's the PNP column.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul Patmore, 2,608. Dalrymple Philibert, 2,823. 44 of 96. Counting rather slow in Southern Trelawney.
Yes.
Less than half of the boxes.
And this is in the JLP column?
Yes.
If he flips it, it's 32-31.
Yeah.
There are still some possibilities.
But several boxes to go.
Is Wayne at EOJ because maybe that map is more advanced than what we're seeing here?
Yeah.
Let's get Wayne Walker to look at the board and tell us.
Well, let us put up Trelawney Northern.
Yes.
Yes? Because 99.3%, according to this update from the EOJ office, of the votes have been counted.
Hamilton has won.
And Tova Hamilton has retained her seat.
She has won.
8,062
with
to
daylight.
McNeil's 7,788.
Yes. Yeah. So he would fall in what? 212 and then 62, 274 votes short of Tova Hamilton. And he led for most of the night, Wickham McNeil did, but as the count got old, Hamilton got stronger, and she finished in for, we can call that one for her, with just 1 box to go.
Yeah.
Can we get Wayne Walker to tell us about...
What's his closest JLP victory? Are there any magisterial recounts that could flip the JLP seat?
Can't recall right now.
Can we get Wayne Walker on the line at EOJ to tell us? Wayne, are you hearing us? Wayne Walker, are you hearing us? Wayne Walker, are you hearing us? No, Wayne Walker is not hearing us.
You know, one of the several talking points of the night, one of which has got to be the recovery of Robert Montague.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He ended up in St. Mary West with 9,394 votes. The Woodbine of the PNP, 8,451.
Yeah.
After we had him down by thousands.
Yes.
Yeah?
In fact, was it the May Blue Dot poll that sent alarm bells ringing all across the constituency and throughout the JLP?
And the country, yes.
That their chairman was on the brink.
The other talking point is that Vaz country has been broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vaz land.
Yes.
Vaz land has been split in two. But it's no more. It's no more. It's no longer Vaz land.
No more.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So just looking at the race between Crystal Lee and Gabriela Morris, Crystal Lee confirming Crystal Lee's success there, confirming Montague's victory. Robert Morgan beating back the challenge of O.J. Dixon. Dayton Campbell taking care of Daniel Lawrence in Eastern Westmoreland.
Have we gotten any updates, George, on West Central St. Andrew?
No, which is why we're trying to get Wayne to tell us if the board has shifted.
Yes.
Wayne, are you hearing me? Wayne Walker? Wayne Walker, are you hearing us?
No, he's not hearing us. But let me ask you, Desmond and Kevin, the morning after, 33:30, yeah? Wayne Chen was speaking to the future of the government. Yes, it's going to be the shortest honeymoon. Yeah? But let me ask you this. What of the opposition?
Personally, it's a pretty good result for the opposition. When you come back from 49 seats and cut it to 33, I don't think anybody can say Mark Golding has not been a successful leader.
I think so too.
He didn't win, but you brought them right back
to the brink of victory.
Of course, I don't say you gain 16 seats. How can you not be a success?
Yes.
So I don't see that there will be any moves to move Mark Golding.
Yes.
And this reminds me of what happened in the UK with Jeremy Corbyn and Theresa May, where the Labour Party was significantly down, thrashed by David Cameron's Tories. And then when May called that snap election and Corbyn ended up overperforming as opposition leader, resulting in a hung parliament, don't forget, and his stock soared. And the Labour Party in the UK dispensed with the tradition of ditching the party leader who led them to electoral defeat. Corbyn stayed on. Turned out to have been a bad decision, but just to say that there was no grounds to remove him because under his leadership the party was significantly stronger in Parliament than it had been before the election.
How many leaders of either, don't know the history, have gained 16 seats for their party?
That's tremendous.
Yeah, maybe the only leader to do that, I don't know. No, Edward Seaga did that.
And I'm asking, but 2007 when Bruce Golding won 30...
No, it was 26, 32, 26. It wasn't that big a jump. Seaga did it for sure.
No, so I'm saying, in 2007, when Golding won, the JLP won the election with 32 seats, or 33.
Yeah, but they had only...
So before...
In 26 before.
In 2022, 26. Okay,
so
moving from 26.
Maybe Seaga is the only other man to do what...
Wayne Walker is here right here. Wayne Walker, are you here? Wayne Walker? Wayne Walker, are you hearing me?
That's funny though.
I don't know why we try to do this. Yeah? Have you tested it before we try again to bring him in, please?
I want to get back into that conversation though, George, about what Kevin was saying about the leadership of the People's National Party and bring Said in, because Said is with me now. I would say we have to look at context, because despite that great acclaim that some will give to Mark Golding now, seeing that the 16 seats are now over in the PNP's column, we cannot lose the context of the COVID elections. We can't lose the context that what we're seeing now resembles so much of 2016.
Strong point.
So when you look at that, you know the base was always there, but there are many factors in 2020 that led to that landslide for the Jamaica Labour Party. What are your thoughts on that, Syed?
Well, I mean, that's an excellent point. I think...
Can we take this update from the Prime Minister's seat, Syed?
Sure,
Sorry
please.
to do
Oh,
this to you.
absolutely. We must take that update.
Can we take this update from West Central St. Andrew? Let's go. West Central St. Andrew, everybody has been asking me. So 93 of 105. Holness now has poached a lead. And this looks to be all over by the shouting, because the Civil Rights Gardens boxes, we were told, were not yet counted up to 87 of the boxes, of 87 of 105. Now those boxes are coming in. This is what Cliff always says. In the Politics 101, he says, look, don't get excited until you know where the boxes are coming from. And so the Holness supporters, and there are many of them fretting. One woman messaged me to say she was having diarrhea. Yeah? Holness now 53.87, Buchanan 49.04. And I tell you, it doesn't matter what happens from here on in, Paul Buchanan will not have to buy a drink for a long time in any PNP bar or establishment, because he's going to have drinks galore for the performance that he has put up this evening.
Box office performance.
Does this move the JP back to 34?
No.
No, because yes, it does, because this was one of the seats the PNP was leading in. Wayne, are you at EOJ?
It wasn't projected though.
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear, my brother. Look at the board and tell us, what is West Central St. Andrew saying? Is it different from what we just said?
Go again, for which one?
Is West Central St. Andrew, what is the board saying at EOJ?
For which of them?
West Central St. Andrew, the Prime Minister's seat.
Oh, 83%. West Central St. Andrew is 92% of the votes counted. The 5,989 for the JLP, for the PNP 4,923. So still
23 vote and 900 more.
Of the votes to be counted, and the Prime Minister surged ahead.
Hold on, go again, Wayne. 5,989 and 4,923.
5,989, right.
Yeah, and then 4,923.
And it's only 92%. Well, 90%.
So he's leading by over 1,000 now.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So yeah. So it's okay.
Yes.
It's safe. So those who are fretting that the JLP would win and we need a new prime minister can stop fretting.
I mean, it does make for good box office though.
Go ahead, Wayne. Go ahead, Wayne.
It looks like he's leading by 1,066 thereabouts.
Okay, what I want to know before I give it to Saeed and Suel and Sandre, the S's, let me ask you this, Wayne. Look back at Southern Trelawney, because the number we were seeing showed a very slow count of boxes. I can't believe that less than half of South Trelawney was counted at that point. What is the board telling you about Southern Trelawney?
100%. Not seeing it on the board at the minute, but the last time I looked at it, it was about 2 minutes ago, and it's about 46%, which was kind of strange.
Yeah.
And at this time of the night, only 46% of the votes were counted. I was just wondering what was happening there.
So Sandre has an update. Go ahead, Sandre.
Hold on here.
I have it 6,800.
Oh, it's done.
Yes, it's done.
32.
It's done.
It's done. Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, she is returned to Parliament, and she got 57% of the votes, with Paul Patmore getting 5,215 votes, 43% of the votes.
All right, so Saeed, just before you come now, can our graphics people help us? Because at the point where we had 33-30, the PNP was leading in West Central St. Andrew. So that now needs to read 34-29.
Yeah.
That adjustment needs to be made on screen. Saeed, you're saying?
Yes, well, we were talking about what this means for the People's National Party going forward as it relates to, do they keep the leader given the performance of the opposition, or do they go for a change? Well, a couple of things to consider. First of all, to go through a change means new organization, doing over the work again, reuniting the party again, and all of that. It might bode well to keep some momentum. I mean, gaining 16 seats, coming out of COVID, coming here 2025 is no small feat. That's one. Two, the work done by the General Secretary Dayton Campbell to reunite the party and galvanize and organize and get the party to this stage, again, coming from a majority of 49-14, is commendable work in the circumstances. And so it's now for the People's National Party to consider, do we give ourselves, or think that we have a better chance with going with a different leader, or do we say no, we want to stick with the leader that they have now and go through the tape and see what the next election bring? Again, interestingly, the Jamaica Labour Party, they have to now say, we have a leader who has won us the third term. What is going to happen? We've never had a leader going 4 terms in Parliament. And so what does this look like for the Jamaica Labour Party? Are they now gathering themselves around to say who will get the nod to be the next leader? Will our Prime Minister stay on, and will our leader stay on for a 4th term, an unprecedented 4th term? Again, if depending on how that plays out with the Jamaica Labour Party, the People's National Party might want to give it a look to see, do we then prey on the fight that might happen in the Jamaica Labour Party for the next leader or the new leader to come, or do we, hold steady and see what comes to the fore? I think it's an exciting time.
Hold on, one of the Ulsters want to challenge what you've said, Saeed.
Yes.
As it stands right now, there is no one in the PNP who has the standing to succeed Mark Golding right now. No one there.
No, I'll be a successor.
And based on tonight's performance, it would be foolhardy for the PNP to think of changing leaders right now. Because what Mark has done, Mark and his team has done for the party is something that what they must try and do is to consolidate this and work towards getting the government in the next election. They couldn't be thinking of changing leaders right now. That wouldn't be. And I don't see anybody in the PNP right now who has, as I said, any credibility to challenge Mark Golding for leadership.
I get that point of view, but there's also another school of thought when it comes to how Mark Golding became the president of the People's National Party.
He was elected.
Yes, he was elected, but we all know the circumstances prior where Mr. Bunting have lost his seat. He was the presumptive president at the time. So, no, but we have to remember that.
No. Because notwithstanding the circumstances, yes, Peter Bunting was supposed to be the apparent hero, as they'd call it. But Mark Golding went as someone, one, who nobody thought would do well as leader, two, who himself, a lot of people think, did not even see himself as being a frontrunner, the man at the helm of the show. Notwithstanding all of that, I think it actually makes the case, agreeing with, I will call him oldie, but Desmond, to say that he has shown that he has the mettle. And let us not forget, what was the sentiment after the leadership debate when between Mark Golding and Andrew Holness? What was the sentiment that came from that?
He won the debate.
Of people, he won the debate, yes. But more than that, a lot of people saw a prime ministerial Mark Golding. A lot of people, even on social media, who said that, you know, they just could not envision a Prime Minister Mark Golding. For the first time, they said that they saw a Prime Minister Mark Golding.
Absolutely.
So I disagree with that notion entirely. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I don't think it would make sense as a long-term strategy because right now I think the state that the PNP is in, like the base is energized, like the party seems to be very unified now, and I don't think opening up those old wounds again to have, you know, like the rise and all that, that kind of separation, at this point, I don't think it would be a best move for them.
Well,
because I think where they have the JLP now is a very good space. I think it makes sense in a strategy-wise to capitalize on where you now have the Jamaica Labour Party and try to build on that instead of trying to separate yourself.
The other thing that we must look at...
Before I come to you, might I add before I come to you, because I want to get your views over there as well on this. A benefit of COVID to the incumbent government, with the several factors at play, was that they were able to echo out this supermajority that allowed them some buffer. We talk about financial buffers all the time. It allowed them a political buffer to withstand the momentum of a Mark Golding-led PNP. What do you think?
That's one.
Well, you know, we had COVID, and the government at the time did some work. In other words, the country was able to, you know, sustain itself. And the government did a good job, right? With the PNP, what really happened to the PNP, you know, is that you see that change of leadership coming out of the 2015 elections. The PNP started to whittle changes. For example, one of the things that people are still asking, well, people are asking me, what happened to Sister P? Right? So the point I'm making is that coming out of the 2015 elections, the PNP started to whittle away. And of course, the leadership changes divided the party. So that gave the JLP the JLP capitalized on that because they had a weak opposition. And as we know in Jamaica, a divided opposition can't win an election. Well, it has not won an election while it is divided, right? So I would say that I would say that yes, the government benefited from the way it handled COVID and the division in the opposition. Government benefited from that. But one of the points that we must raise now, the JLP has won this election. What the cabinet is going to look like?
We need to get into that conversation, but I'm hearing the producer say that we're going for a quick break, and then we come back to that very important conversation. So we're going for a break. Stick with us.
There would not be a third term without an
Diabetes is high glucose level in the bloodstream.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy catch, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium. Tilapia, simple, healthy, delicious.
Greet the Sabbath day with bliss and an open heart. Join the People's Station for the Andrews Memorial Seventh-day Adventist Church service every Saturday at 9 a.m. on PBCJ.
Welcome back to Nationwide's coverage of the elections and the result. Race to 32. The JLP breached the 32 barrier. They have 34 based on the preliminary count. The PNP 29. And it looks as if that's the result that will hold because there is no seat that is outstanding that will materially affect the makeup right now of 34-29. That's to come. That's to come. May we also say, Asandre, Suel, and Saeed, that Dr. Horace, I know there's a question you want to come back with, and I know you note that question, but I want to put this in the mix. Dr. Horace Chang, as General Secretary, the number of elections he has won, because we tend to forget the local elections. He's won 2 of those, November 2016 and then February 2024. and you had 3 general elections too, that 2016, 2020, and now 2025, it would be remiss of us not to acknowledge his work in a very, very difficult chair, not only as General Secretary, because unlike Dayton Campbell, who had the freedom of the General Secretary's role to be the real CEO of the PNP, Chang had the Ministry of National Security to manage as well.
Yeah, I want to come in on that, George. When you look on the work of Dr. Chang, as Jen said, we do have question marks. Why do we have question marks? We have question marks because, of course, a lot of people across the country are saying the JLP took a while to get themselves together and ready for this election. But despite the fact that those question marks exist, there are some key areas where a particular move was made and you saw that it was a chess move. You realize that with Audrey Marks coming into that seat in Manchester, that was a chess move. You saw what happened when there was some kind of tussle in the St. Andrew seats, and you saw where, you know, Chang stepped in and the party kind of kept that united front. So the electorate, the perception is always important in politics. So the electorate would have looked at that and said, they are still united. So you give Chang his kudos. You give Chang his kudos for staying the course, being in the chair. Some people might not agree with his methods, but of course his methods has worked for the Jamaica Labour Party. It has brought them to victory, and it has brought them to victory again. Maybe not exactly the victory they probably would have planned out or penciled out or put on their whiteboard, but it is a victory nonetheless, and an unprecedented victory. A 3rd term, and you can give Chang his flowers. You can make him a super deputy prime minister now, Mr. Prime Minister. I don't know what you're going to do, but you know, you can give him his flowers.
Ricardo Brooks is standing by with Dr. Horace Chang. We're speaking of Dr. Horace Chang. Ricardo has him at Belmont Road, the JLP's headquarters. Ricardo?
Good evening, George. Good evening to the viewers and listeners. I am here with the country's Deputy Prime Minister, and I think it's fair to say the most successful General Secretary of any political party in Jamaica's history. Dr. Horace Chang has led the JLP's machinery now to a 3rd consecutive victory. How does that feel, sir?
Very good. This is a tough one, but we had to be the respond very well. To that extent, we have been very strategic. We had an excellent campaign, so that complete the work of being and I was able to do that. I constantly agree with the talent in terms of getting the party just to keep together. But the concept is very strong, and obviously you can accommodate that and allow the connection going the same direction. We have to do that. We have a very people and respect with leader. I think this victory we have affirmed is that they are one of the best coaches in Jamaica. Came under a lot of time, personal attacks, and faced a lot of challenges. The pandemic going through COVID-19 was a miraculous activity for the worst pandemic. It's your 100 years experience, no track to follow. Instead, you don't try to was too successful. And put them from job and the population respect for this. It was still difficult because difficulty that existed and COVID remained out of it. The bad was the artists of land, the capital, the door of work, and still exists in the short term. But we were able to put together and start the process of building and back stabilize the country. We gave additional equipment, we gave a very responsible for himself, national security. And with his support, we were able to make the investment in the security force that gave us some very powerful results. I think that really establishing a well-trusted for the population that the government will get the job done in Jamaica better peace. This is one for the victory. Furthermore, when 9 is what seems to hear now. That's a good victory in a 3rd term proportion. Same people, circumstances they have one in terms of their deterioration in infrastructure is challenging.
I think we can leave it there. The audio is very challenging. I'm struggling to hear.
I'm struggling to hear what he's saying.
Yeah, we have to abandon that. The audio is just not working with us. And Kevin, you did ask which of the seats the JLP would have lost by a very thin margin?
No, won by a close margin. For any recounts.
Okay.
Is there any chance of any recounts for the JLP seats?
Yeah.
The closest one I have is Manchester Central.
How much is
Rhoda, 182.
He's talking about double digits.
No, but that's the closest.
That's something that Said and myself, I'm pretty sure we have some interest in Manchester Central, and here's why. A lot of persons were looking at Manchester Central and thinking that that seat was just because of COVID.
Yes.
But there's a trend in that seat that a lot of persons weren't looking at. If you look at the trend, you look at Danville Walker when he contested, it was razor thin. It was pretty close. So if the work that Rhoda Moy Crawford posts on her social media is true, if it is to be believed, I am guessing that she would pick up some votes somewhere along the line. And that is where that 182 you said it was?
Yes,
that's where that 182 would possibly come from.
But I think what we should be looking at, though, what was the vote tally she polled in 2020?
All right, one sec. Let me get
she
that for you.
polled just over 8,000, almost 9,000. She didn't make it to 9,000.
No, she didn't make it to 9,000.
8,140 in 2020.
Exactly.
She pulled those
votes.
So almost 1,000 more.
The key point.
Yeah.
She increased her vote count by almost 1,000 in this kind of environment. Yes? And I think that is where her political credit should be tagged.
True.
Yes. In
PNP went up 2,000 and still
Bunting got
didn't
6,989.
She increased 1,000.
And the PNP vote went up from what to what?
Like 2,000.
6,989.
Yes.
And it is now 8,916.
So the PNP
went up 2,000.
Its vote count, but she
went up 1,000.
I tell you, she is proving to be a political infighter.
Cliff, she has established herself on the scene as a politician, not just for now, but for the future.
Yes.
Because in order to win that seat, to then retain that seat, that says she must be doing something right for the people of Manchester.
And remember, the PNP boasted that they had regrouped around Mitchell.
Skeng was on board.
Skeng was on board, and she fought that off.
Yep.
Can I say something too? When it was close.
And tell us you're from Mandeville.
Right. When it was close, somebody who knows Mandeville well say, yeah, she look like head, she's going to look at Belfield, don't come in yet. She has established, the PNP established like almost a garrison like all of Belfield. And she broke that.
Yeah.
She gets votes out of Belfield late. Because formally, you'd see 2007, Sally Porteous was leading, and then a wall of votes came down. So usually the late swing goes to the PNP because of Belfield. Rhoda has clearly changed the map. You got to give her credit. She's a young lady, but she's as tough as nails.
Another one that we need to pay attention to tonight, because there are some casualties and there are some real winners tonight. Tova Hamilton. In Northern Trelawney. She was written off up to 8-10 months ago as being good as dead.
Yeah.
She has come back, and she prevailed over a once PNP heavyweight, Wickham McNeil.
A political stalwart, Cliff.
Yes.
And he polled really, really good numbers as well, which means Tova Hamilton really had to pull out votes in the nooks and crannies of Trelawney Northern in order to beat Wickham. Wickham literally would have risen as it relates to his own political standing in Trelawney Northern. He battled hard, and it was close enough, but she established herself as well.
We spoke about Favour Williams earlier, but look at the scene now where the female politicians are concerned.
Yeah.
They're doing very well.
Favour has survived.
Juliet
Tova.
Two Juliets.
The two Juliets.
Yeah.
Tova and Rhoda.
Now, they are the ones for the future now.
Yeah.
Because
Crystal Lee.
Hold on. Sorry to break up this bromance, but Mark Golding is on his feet at Old Hope Road, beg your pardon. The PNP president is addressing the crowd. Can we get some of that?
Well, listening, watching. First of all, I think it's my duty as a believer in democracy to acknowledge and concede the result and to congratulate our opponents, the Jamaica Labour Party, for
Very good.
their victory tonight.
Very good.
Jamaica's democracy is important and we must cherish it. Sometimes it brings bitter disappointments. Sometimes those disappointments are laced with a tinge of a sense of not all is fair and just, but it is very, very important that we put democracy ahead of all of those feelings. And I accept the result of these elections.
Excellent.
And although obviously I'm very disappointed in the outcome, I think it is only correct to expressly acknowledge the success that our opponents have managed to gain today. I want to thank a lot of people. And first of all, I have to thank the comrades and supporters of South St. Andrew for standing with me, for coming out today in their numbers, and for giving us a decisive victory in the constituency which I have the honor to serve. I also want to thank our campaign team, led by our campaign director, our general secretary, Dayton Campbell, Dr. Dayton Campbell. Also, a newly minted member of parliament, congratulations to him. And all the other members of the campaign team who worked with him. There are a number of names there. I don't want to attempt to go through all those names because I'm going to probably forget somebody and then I'll regret it. They have done a tremendous job. The communications team, I want to thank them publicly for what they have done. And that is a night and day kind of job. Starts very early in the morning and goes on till late at night. So their commitment to the task at hand is remarkable, and I want to thank them deeply for it. All of our candidates who ran in this election and their campaign teams, I want to thank them for their effort, for their commitment to the country, to the democratic process. I want to, of course, congratulate the 29 who have been successful tonight, and we have more than doubled our number of MPs tonight. And for those who were not first, and they still committed themselves extremely well. And I want to say that this was a wonderful demonstration of the maturity of Jamaica's political process, that we could go through such a closely fought election without any violence to speak of. And we must all give ourselves a round of applause. Because that was not always the case. And I want to thank all of the pioneers who led that process to where it is today, where I think we can safely say that Jamaica is a place that really cherishes and respects the democracy that we have built. I want to thank the people of Jamaica for having received us so well and having given us hundreds of thousands of votes and given us 29 seats. We don't take that for granted. We thank you for your time today. I know the voting was often painfully slow, and that's an issue which more will have to be said about, because it's an undemocratic situation when people, elderly and other people, have to be in the hot sun lining up to vote for sometimes hours. And it should not be that way. We should do better, and we have to do better. I must tell you that I'm proud of the platform that we put forward for the people of Jamaica. It was a truly progressive platform, a platform that offered a radical reform to the land tenure issues that have plagued this country for centuries. A radical platform that would have enhanced the standard of living and quality of life of those working families that are struggling to survive now by giving them significantly lower tax burdens on their income. Progressive in a social justice sense as well, around issues such as beach reform, contract work, and other things which really need to be addressed because there are injustices in our society which cannot be tolerated and should be modified and rejected in their current form. So I just want to thank all of the team that came together and developed those ideas and put them forward boldly and without reticence. And I think that for many Jamaicans, they saw the benefits and the power that that platform and those ideas and proposals would have delivered. So ladies and gentlemen, for us it's a difficult night. This is not an easy speech to make. You know, one doesn't want to, one wasn't hoping for. And it means that the government will get its third term and we will have as a nation to deal with that going forward. But the people, I'm happy to tell you, is alive and well, is a powerful political organization. And has embraced modernity in its methods and has definitely, I think, over the last few years, come a long way towards being a competitive political force in Jamaica. And as the General Secretary said, the work begins right away.
Well, thank you very much there. Mark Golding, I thought, made a very, very good speech. He would have gained kudos in those 5-7 minutes in conceding and conceding with grace and statesmanlike behavior. He commended the democracy. And it's a point you were making earlier, Kevin, that listen, we tend to beat upon ourselves as a democracy. But which other country, there are very few other countries, would have had a close election tonight, less than 2 percentage points separating the winner in the popular vote, 5 seats separating them in the parliamentary majority, and that kind of speech coming from the opposition leader. This democracy is in good health, yeah? And Mark Golding did himself and his party proud in those 7 minutes.
Excellent, excellent. And
George?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I was listening to him, and the vuvuzelas were challenging, but you could see him master of his emotions in the moment. And I've said publicly, and many people have berated me, I've said that personally, I like Mark Golding. I've gotten on well with him. I remember in my days as PHA president in COVID, we played a charity cricket match, and I got to get a little bit closer to him than the regular journalist would. And I quite like the man. I respect his intellect. One of the best interviews I've been on, been a part of in my time as a journalist. He was one part of that interview. I'll never forget it. And so he's a man that demands respect, and I thought it was a classy speech. Let's go to Belmont Road, where Andrew Holness is addressing the crowd.
To the microphone. just to greet you and to bask in the victory of the Jamaican Labour Party. A man who has worked hard in the campaign. A man who won by over 10,000 votes. Dr. Andrew Wicked.
Accepted March in 2017, remember? That's why we never have a problem.
Right. We are grateful for the support of this campaign. We are grateful, right, for the support over the years, and in particular, the last 9 years.
We are going to go back to Belmont Road when the Prime Minister begins his victory speech this evening. But just to canvass the views of Kevin, Desmond, Mark Golding's concession speech.
Wonderful speech. One of the best concession speeches I've heard. He celebrated the people. Mr. Golding, lose the fake patois. You're statesman-like. People love that. The debate and here, people don't like the fake patois. But I'm going to say this. Isn't it remarkable? Mark Golding is a full white man. Not even part like Siaga and Manley. Michael had little non-white blood. Full British Jew in a 90% black country. And it's not even thought worthy of debate. It's not even an issue. Nobody cares. It is remarkable. Other countries might have minority
Some
leaders,
people
but
try
discussed.
to exploit it. Some people try.
I'm a very small minority. I can tell you, I've done props interviews on the road. Yeah. Nobody cares about that. It's remarkable. Very few countries in the world would it be such a total non-issue.
Yes.
That's why I said this is the greatest election in Jamaica's history. In terms of the behavior of the people, everything, no animosity. It's wonderful. As I said, and I found it a perfect result.
Yeah. Desmond?
Mark is a true Jamaican. I must tell you that what I heard from him a while ago, I expected nothing less from him based on the person who I know personally. And I know that he will make a good prime minister because he is a full Jamaican and he has the Jamaican people's interest at heart. I think his speech, good presentation, and let us see now what kind of opposition the PNP is going to serve. Let us see that. I'm looking forward to that.
And let me bring in the youngsters here, beginning with you, Suel. This is unprecedented political territory for the People's National Party. Yes? It's a party almost 90 years old. It has never spent more than 2 terms in opposition. This is completely new territory for it. The most it has spent, as I said, 10 years in opposition. Now it is looking at the prospect of 14, 15 years in opposition. Yeah. Now, will it survive? Yeah. Will it consolidate, as Desmond Richard says, or will they break out into internal strifes again? Yeah. I preempted you with that long preamble. What did you make of Golding's speech?
I think his speech was really good. I think the first thing I noticed was his tone. He had a very, not necessarily somber, but his tone was more of, you know, yes, I did well. Yes, I know we did well, but this is what the reality is. I know we have to move forward. And I think I appreciated coming in with that. I think when he congratulated the Jamaica Labour Party, I think he got points for that too. He spoke very clearly, you know, about thanking the base, thanking the members of the party coming out to vote. He thanked, like the persons who ran the campaign, all the MPs and things like that. And I think he spoke to the future as well. And I think from where he sits, I think, as I said before, it makes sense they hold steady now and try to build on what they have. Because I think from where they're coming from in 2020 and that entire journey leading up to this point, I think the PNP also won tonight. They didn't win the election, but I think they won something. And I think that says a lot for the kind of leader that Mark Golding is. He came in, he was able to unite the party in time for the elections and still showed out. So I think it makes sense for them to build on what we have now and see how we can capitalize on where we have the JLP to move forward.
Saeed?
Well, put it this way. They have decisions to make. And while it is uncharted territory for the People's National Party, it would do them well to learn from the JLP's time in that territory. The JLP is in uncharted territory. We're getting a historic third term. But they can learn very much from what happened with the JLP during P.J. Patterson's time and, how long it took them to get out of that. What I will say is politics is a cycle. And if you follow the politics time and time again, you recognize that if you study the cycle, then you will know what to do and what not to do in order to get the best success out of it. So there are decisions to make, but long and short of it is learn from the cycle of the JLP when they were in opposition in the wilderness for that time period, and they'll be good to go.
So Andre?
Great speech from Mark Golding, and it gives the impression of what is to come for the PMP. Of course, 29 seats, if it holds, barring magisterial recounts, 29 seats, as he said, that's more than double of the seats that they had before, which means it was a really good showing. That means the PMP now, they have that opportunity to not only look into themselves, but look at the talent in and around the space, people who would have run, people who have served in the Senate, and see where those people are best placed to continue building on that momentum. Because whether persons like it or not, whether you are a labourite or a comrade, it's always good that we have a good opposition in a democracy. And that is something that, we'll always advocate for. And based on that, we expect to see a united PMP channeling all they hear from their supporters in Parliament, whether it's Senate, whether it's the lower house, and ensuring that democracy remains strong and the government is held to account.
Yes.
We have Wayne and Professor Blake on Zoom.
Professor Blake? Professor Blake and then Wayne Chen?
Yes, I that was a very good concession speech by Mark Golding, and I think if Mark Golding sticks in that kind of a vein, boy, what a leader he will continue to be with the PNP. This is the Mark Golding that he needs to continue to be. I thought it was a good, and it's ironic, right? This was a good loss for the PNP. I mean, I think the party is way stronger now. I think that it certainly moving forward, that they should continue to go work with Golding. And it was a good concession speech. It was a good fight by the PNP. And I think that they will continue to keep the government party accountable. This is also a win for democracy, right? Look, a concession speech within minutes of the count, and our democracy is stable, it's strong, and it's in peak performance on that account. So all good things there.
Wayne?
One of the hallmarks of a successful and mature democracy is when the loser accepts the results of the poll and does it quickly. Tonight we had an election that was decided by, again, a small single-digit thousands of votes. There are seats that are within some two by a dozen, some within 100. So it's good that there is a quick concession to avoid instability after, as we have seen happen in other countries, and almost happened in Jamaica, at least on one occasion. So it is a good and gracious speech and concession to show that our democracy, as we have been saying all night, is in hale health. Going forward, we have very interesting days ahead. The proportion of women, just to give an example, in the 34 winners, I believe about a dozen are women. It's the highest proportion we have ever seen of female representation in the governing side of the House. I know the number might have not hardly changed since the last, but we're moving from 49 seats to possibly 34 seats. Also, I believe the outgoing and incoming Prime Minister, the same person, Andrew Michael Holness, had asked the newbies, the first-term members of Parliament, to stay in the field and represent. I think that many of them have served their term now and have some expectation of being in the executive, which creates a dilemma going forward. Because with a smaller parliamentary group, many of them moving into the executive also puts, as we have seen with the narrow victory, the representation side on a very thin edge. So there is a lot of dilemmas to be solved going forward. It's new and exciting time. As I said earlier, the opposition benches are now full of tireless people who will get on their feet and speak out. So the government is going to be, with its short honeymoon, it's going to be a very interesting period for Jamaican governance going forward from here.
George?
Well, a new day, a new government, which is the old government, the argument settled at least for the next 4 or 5 years. The country can move on. The country gripped by what almost was a soap opera of daily episodes, daily unraveling, matters brought to the fore. I'm very keen to see, and that's what I've been here contemplating quietly. I'm very keen to see the approach taken by the Mark Golding PNP, have to say it that way because that's what we have now, to this issue of the Prime Minister's outstanding statutory declarations. We all knew it was an election-winning approach that this thing was treated with or taken as. Do they dispense with it and settle down into opposition, or do they continue to ride it, continue to finish the job that they have started? And I heard one analyst say earlier today, and I quite agree with her, Swill Anglin, saying that the Prime Minister, if not mortally wounded, had been scarred, obviously not mortally wounded, but scarred by the constant, the barrage of accusations and claims. And then it is this Parliament which will have to preside over how the Integrity Commission is shaped going forward. So the same men who outside of the House of Representatives, certainly Dayton Campbell outside of Parliament, Bunting outside of the House, they come back, they're sitting in the House now. What do they say about plans to make the Integrity Commission different from the one which has, I believe, facilitated a witch hunt of epic proportions against them? And I've never seen an individual not charged with any crime be so solid by a crime. And I'm keen to see how this PNP, with its added strength on the seats of the House, now approach this issue that they have ridden and beaten almost to death for over 2 years.
Well, George, I have to take issue with you, dear George. The elections are over, but there are issues which are not over. For example, you touch one there, the Prime Minister's statutory declarations, they must be dealt with.
By whom? By the Integrity Commission.
Listen, when you say by whom, you know, we have an Integrity Commission, right?
And now part of the reason, Desmond, is that we make it seem as if the Prime Minister, we make it seem as if individuals have the gift and have the luxury of dealing with their own declarations. If you submit your declarations and the authority to authorize has not done so, you have to wait. We make it seem as if there's something that Holness can do.
But George,
yes.
To answer Desmond,
yes.
He said it's the Integrity Commission.
Yes.
The Integrity Commission has examined the Prime Minister's declaration.
I was going to come to that.
And closed its investigation.
I was going to come to that.
They have closed it. Yes.
What have they sent? What have they asked FID to? What have they asked FID to do?
To go further, but they, under the law, cannot do that.
That's right.
Okay?
So that matter is not closed.
It is.
It is not closed. It is not closed.
Only the Integrity
It is not
Commission
closed because FID has been asked to examine it.
Under law, only the Integrity Commission can examine the Prime Minister's or any parliamentarian declaration.
The point that I am making is that
somebody
the Prime
needs
Minister
to tell you and the People's National Party stop weaponizing that process.
The Prime Minister
and the people of Jamaica have spoken tonight.
Yeah, that's the point I was going to make.
Argument done.
Yeah.
No, that argument is not finished. That argument is not finished. Because what we don't want a Prime Minister with clouds hanging over his head.
And there's no cloud hanging over his head.
We don't want that.
He's the only politician who has had a forensic examination of all his statutory declarations and financial affairs.
You are in no position to say that there's no cloud hanging over his head.
So which is the cloud?
What is the cloud?
What's the cloud? What's the cloud?
You mean what is the cloud?
What is the cloud?
The Prime Minister's statutory declarations.
Have not been what? Certified by the Integrity Commission?
Yes.
Right. And why have they not done so?
And listen, what we want. We want the Prime Minister to tell us. Listen.
Well, guess what?
This is simply,
Desmond, as I said, this thing has been weaponized for 2 years.
The Prime Minister is the first.
Desmond, Jamaicans said today that they believe in the integrity of this Prime Minister. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what cloud anybody wants to prepare and seed to reign perpetually over the Prime Minister's head. And we all should remember, as Bob Marley said, when the rain falls, it don't fall on one man, no stop. So I'm saying the weaponization of processes is something that the other side can play. And then what happens to this democracy that we are throwing confetti at? Come on, we need to grow up as a people.
Thank you very much. Yes? You're silent. You're definitely silent though, Kevin.
About what? Integrity Commission?
What we're talking about, what Desmond and I and George debating.
Okay, Cliff, as you said, what is left for Andrew Holness to do? The Integrity Commission has to either charge him or certify. There's two choices. So charge him or certify.
And they have closed it. Them say done.
In their annual report.
It done.
But you know something? I'm going to come back here. The whole night we're talking, I don't hear nobody talk about the most important issue in the country.
What, crime?
The crime, right?
Crime is no longer an important issue in the country.
You, listen, I got my two wishes in life, you know.
Crime is no longer an important issue in the country. That Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, has cut crime to a point where we'd never discuss it like we have in the last 50 years of electioneering.
It is still an issue. The people, listen, we're still at 24.
How is it an issue, Kevin? It has been successfully managed.
We're still 20. We're still one of the
what
top 20.
What you should say, he failed to campaign on it.
Well, that too. But we're still one of the top 20 murder countries in the world. There's still time have room to go down.
You feel safer. Me feel safer.
Do I feel as safe as I would want to be?
Safer.
No. You shouldn't speak for Desmond. Desmond, do you feel safer?
Crime is still at significant
him ask if you feel safer.
In
it can't
Jamaica.
Go down more, Desmond. It can't go down
ask if
more.
you feel safer. Answer.
Significant problem in Jamaica.
Answer the question. Do you feel safer?
Safer, but not as safe as the one. It can still go down more.
Listen.
And I'm very glad the JP wants so Commissioner Blake can continue.
Desmond, do you feel safer?
Driving it down.
Desmond, do you feel safer?
Allow me to. You don't want me to answer.
Answer no?
I said.
Answer.
I said. Crime is still a big problem in Jamaica.
Do you feel safer?
You feel safer than a year ago, boss?
If I feel safer than...
Yes. You can't answer.
No.
Suel, do you feel safer?
No.
Do you feel safer?
Yes, to an extent.
Do you feel as safe as you want to be?
No.
Can go down more?
Yes.
So I want to go on the table.
Saeed live in England for a year.
It is no longer issue. That's wrong.
You can't ask Saeed.
Saeed live in England for a year. Did they mug you in London?
Oh, not at all.
Okay. Sandra, do you feel safer?
Yes, but
good.
There can be improvement.
More
but I do
Very
feel
well.
safer, yeah.
Yes.
All right, I can live with that.
We need to take a break. We need to take a break and come right back. Jamaicans are always going to say they want more. Saeed is very well paid. If you ask me, he say he can be paid more.
We must be fair, man.
There you go. We have to be fair. Let's go to the break, and when we come back, hopefully the Prime Minister will be ready for all the country.
You are treating
break time,
Desmond,
break time.
as a disciple.
No.
Influenced change. Now, lead research that transforms.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh, so me need it. Tilapia a real fish.
Sir Donald Stankster, for you, Shearer, for Edward Philip George Siaga, for Bruce Golding, and I want to invite Mrs. Carla Siaga to just come and acknowledge the moment and take a bow to the crowd, because all of this Mr. Siaga still has, well, he must be happy. So, Desmond, just, you are only allowed to hold the bell temporarily. Do not ring it. I have a few things to say early on. Firstly, let me thank the thousands of Jamaicans who prayed for me personally and who prayed for the government and the country. I want to thank my wife and one of my sons is here, Adam. Come on, guy. Of course, the superwoman. And my mother.
Them 2 by 2. Turn me friend, them 3 by 3. Best government we run the country. Look how we balance the economy.
I want to thank them personally. I mean, you know, a political campaign, sometimes, you know, when they see the personalities, they forget that they are human beings with feelings and emotions, and they can be objectified. It's very difficult, but I want to thank my family here and abroad and all over who have withstood a tremendous onslaught but they never gave up on me or on the people of Jamaica. I want to thank the political team. I think we have the best political team in the Caribbean. But allow me to, I do this at a risk, but I'm sure everyone will agree that my Deputy Prime Minister, Horace Chang, the General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, deserves special commendation. You know, there's a special bond that has to be between the leader and the General Secretary of a political party. And Horace and I have been working for the greater part of 30 years together. We have been very good friends and very good professional associates. We have a mind share, and we are both very much committed to Jamaica, like everyone in the team. I want to thank you, the supporters. You would know how much you mean to me.
You can depend on me.
For all of you who squeeze up on the bus to come to the meeting, who go on the long motorcades with us, for all of you who take on the PMP them when you hear them with the lies.
I'm in your corner, anytime the trouble is on. I'm in your corner, friend. I'm in your corner.
But for all of you who have stood up and chosen Jamaica, I say thanks to you, the supporters of the party. You make us stronger, and we stand here on your shoulders. I thank you, God bless you, and I love you. Today, Jamaica won. Jamaica won this election. Yes. The majority of voters decided to choose Jamaica. Make no mistake about it. This was not victory by default. Make no mistake about it. This was not an easy victory. Make no mistake about it. This was a fight. But we did not descend my political organization. We did not descend to the gutter to fight. We did not seek to trick the people to win. We did not seek to tear down anyone to lift up ourselves. We did not seek to tear down Jamaica in order to be able to administer the affairs of Jamaicans. We ran a clean, disciplined, focused, well-organized campaign and we proved that we can run a decent campaign and win. And that is how Jamaica has won.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
That is how Jamaica wins. Our democracy by this election is proven to be intact. There are those who are trying to seed a view that the mere fact of a third term is a threat to democracy. There are those who are trying to carry the idea that regardless of how well a government performs and merits to be re-elected, it shouldn't happen because somehow that is a threat to democracy. Well, today has dispelled that because we went through the toughest battle in any democratic society in the region to stand here and say, we will be the government for the third term.
They just can't stop me now.
And I want that point to be understood. We contested the election with the highest level of decency and morality. The people came out. We do have our concerns about the turnout, but the people who voted, the majority spoke and chose Jamaica. So I am satisfied that our democracy is strong. But I wish to assure all Jamaicans who participated in the elections or who did not participate in the election that my government will continue to be respectful of, uphold and advance democratic institutions and protect the democracy of this country. There are some things that should be said. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Jamaica is at a special place today. It is an opportunity. For me, it was also a personal challenge. And I would just like to say, when you face challenges and you look for the opportunities, rise to the occasion. Look at yourself. They know you're strong. No one can stop you. And after all the attacks, the lies, the rumors, the innuendos, I am still solid as a rock. They just can't stop me now.
Keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown. But I'm so solid as a rock. They just can't stop me down.
Now, in the third term, as in the first and the second, we must guard against arrogance. We must develop an even keener ears to listen to the people. We must be focused on addressing the needs of the people. And while it is clear that the majority have spoken and chosen the Jamaica Labour Party, geographically and traditionally, there are still those who may not share that view. And for varying reasons. One reason is they say, yes, we see prosperity in some areas, but they want prosperity to come now to their community, to their driveway, and to their doorway. This government, in our third term, must be laser focused on ensuring that there is prosperity for all Jamaicans. And just to be clear, prosperity doesn't mean riches. For some people, prosperity means peace. They want to live in peace. For some people, prosperity may mean their children getting to university. For some people, prosperity is a car. For others, it is a house. But for most people, it is the road fixed in their community and water in their pipes. And so, we must be focused on delivering these basic public services, which means prosperity for so many. But Jamaica is more than that. Jamaica is a potential to be realized. And for decades, we have underperformed. The story of Jamaica is that we have done so much as a country, but we could have done so much more. For the first time, an electorate has said, we will reward a performing government to continue to deliver the promise of Jamaica. The promise of cutting murders and crime and bringing Jamaica finally to peace, the peace which we had 60 years ago. We can have peace in our country. The promise of Jamaica being a growing and robust economy, which we had 60 years ago, we will continue to fulfill the promise of the growth of the Jamaican economy. We will continue to fulfill the promise of a knowledgeable, educated, and informed society, where every child can have access to the best quality education. We will continue to fulfill that promise. We will continue to fulfill the promise where every Jamaican can have meaningful employment and earn a meaningful income so that you can fulfill your own personal dreams and aspirations. We will continue to fulfill that promise. And we will continue to build a society that is just. A society that is fair for everyone. We will continue the work that we have started in our second term. Now, as I close my presentation to you, our political organization, like any other organization, must renew itself. The third term is also an opportunity for renewal, to attract new people to expose new talent, to refresh ideas, and to place to the Jamaican people a continued, credible political organization that can always ably lead the government of the country. So we will not be laying back comfortable in victory. No. We will be rebuilding, refreshing, renewing, and preparing to be a credible alternative to the opposition for the 4th term of a Jamaica Labour Party government.
Yes, I love the blessing. I love the blessing. Father God blessing.
So labor rights, Jamaicans, your democracy is strong. You have made the right decision to continue with a government that performs, because it sends a signal to governments to come that the way to win is by performing, by doing, by achieving victory by merit. Third, in our 2nd term, we created a momentum. We are on the right path, heading in the right direction with the right trajectory. That should not be broken, and the Jamaican people share that view. And therefore, we will continue to use the momentum to accelerate the development of our country and to ensure that you can get the benefits and the aspirations that you have all wished for. And fourth, we commit to being a responsible, caring, and fair government. That is my commitment and the commitment of my team to you. We will be the political party to move Jamaica from poverty to prosperity. I continue to be your 1 p.m.
And the Prime Minister with that speech bookending a day that began at at midnight. The election day started at midnight. The polls opened at 7 a.m. sharp in most places, perhaps in all places, and a day characterized by slow voting in some places. But at the end of the day, the JLP 34, the PNP 29. That's the tail of the tape. That's what history will record for this election, notwithstanding, of course, the magisterial recounts in certain seats that will follow this preliminary declaration of the result. I just go quickly around the panel. We have less than 3 minutes to wrap the broadcast, so I'll start with the lady.
And we have the broadcast, so we have a special production.
That's the end, that's to take us out, so don't trouble that yet. Just 3 minutes to get comments, starting with the lady, Dr. Nadine Spence.
The speech showed you that the Prime Minister has been bruised in this battle. I think you could hear his hurt there. I think it's perhaps the first time you've heard the extent of the impact of this on him. But you also hear the determination and the resoluteness that, you know, we're not going to take this. We're not going to take this 3rd term for granted. We have a lot of work to do. I think as well that it is a 3rd term. It's a 3rd term, and this is an incumbent government that is back in power. That has not been happening globally.
Yes.
So regardless of how we want to look at it, the truth is that the Andrew Holness-led government is back in power for a 3rd term,
yes.
And that's something for them to celebrate. Yes, there are things to look back on, and perhaps for them to say we could have done this better. But for tonight, they're celebrating their victory, and you can't take that away from them.
Wayne Chen, quickly, your perspective on the Holness speech. And, well, he's not there. Professor Blake, are you there? No? Okay.
Desmond.
Well, the voters have spoken, and we are now here to see what the government is going to do to improve the lives of the voters and the Jamaican people. So, yes, congratulations. Let us see what is going to be done. A lot of promises were made, and we are watching to see how many of those promises are going to be fulfilled.
Janae Stevens-Taylor, you have been on the journey with us with Blue Dot. Yes. Your reactions and reflections on the outcome.
So this outcome is certainly a credit to the power of data. We modeled this outcome. The historical data pointed us in this direction. Towards the end of the election season, it looked as if we were in for some surprises, higher than usual voter turnout, higher than usual participation from the moderates in the middle, and that did not materialize on election day. And so we, as a voting public, reverted to the patterns that we have been true to over the last 5 general elections, and the predictions hold true. And we are walking out of here tonight feeling quite confident in that modeling and in that data and in the power of harnessing that data so that we can use it to inform going forward. We're excited to be on this journey with you, Cliff. It's been a few years. You took a chance on Blue Dot all that time ago when people were just like, who is this company and what are they doing? And here we are some years later, and we couldn't be more excited. We couldn't be more excited to be your partners in this. So until next time.
Yes. Thank you, Janae. Thank you on behalf of the nationwide team. Yes. Well, I want to say thanks to all the team here at Revo TV, Nationwide, and of course, Blue Dot, our panelists. Thanks very much. We know we had some challenges tonight with the telecommunication systems. We apologize for those. We're going to learn from those. I see some very useful suggestions on social media. Yeah, we're going to take those on board. But we want to leave you with the fact that a bit of history was created tonight. Andrew Michael Holness is now set to be Prime Minister for another full term. Will he go early or will he seek a 4th term? That is to be discussed. But we want to leave you with this from Ricardo Brooks on what tonight means.
He's done it. Dr. Andrew Michael Holness has led the governing Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, to a historic 3rd term in government. At 53 years old, Holness tempted fate and has now tasted political greatness. He becomes the first leader of the 82-year-old Jamaica Labour Party to be given a 3rd mandate by the Jamaican people. He's only the 2nd Jamaican Prime Minister to achieve this feat, drawing level with P.J. Patterson's achievement in the 2002 general election. Elected to Parliament for the first time in 1997, Holness has represented the people of West Central St. Andrew for 6 consecutive terms. Tonight, he secures a 7th term in the seat and his 3rd as Prime Minister. Dr. Holness has managed to win the country's 19th general election while swimming against a political avalanche of accusations of corruption and dogged questions about his integrity filings. It appears the Jamaican people have decided those allegations ultimately were not the deciding factor in this election. Despite the relentless onslaught from his main political rivals in the PNP, a confident Holness kept on message throughout the campaign by touting his government's achievements over the last 9 years. He touted roads, he touted water, he touted housing, and he touted the merits of a robust economy. That message appears to have resonated. With this, his 3rd mandate, Holness may have proven himself one of the most resilient political leaders in the country's history. In fact, He joins a select club of incumbents across the Caribbean region to survive the anti-incumbent wave that toppled several of his fellow leaders. In this election, Dr. Holness presented a simple choice to the Jamaican people: performance or promises. The Prime Minister and his governing Jamaica Labour Party also asked the voters to choose Jamaica. Based on tonight's results, it appears Jamaicans have chosen performance, and they have chosen Jamaica. With that choice, they cement Holness as a permanent fixture in the political history books. Ricardo Brooks for the Race to 32.
Cook it up and make we steam it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Cook it up and make we roast it. Farm fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Grow smart at the best part. Food for thought so me have to eat smart. Easy catch, fully net. A tilapia so you don't know what's next. Cook it up and make we fry it. Fresh so me need it, tilapia a real fish. Bring home the best in freshwater fish. High content of vitamin B3, protein and potassium.